What's going on, folks, and thank you for tuning in with me to another edition of the True Capitalist Radio broadcast. And, of course, I am your host, the man they call Ghost. And once again, folks, I want to thank you very much for tuning in with me. This is episode number 578. Episode number 578 for all the folks that are keeping track of the True Capitalist Radio broadcast. And before we get into anything else, I want to remind everybody this is June 11, 2018, and I respectfully and hopefully would like for you all to please spread this show link around like wildfire and let everybody know that True Capitalist Radio is in effect and in the house, and we are live every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 6:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, right here on the official website of the True Capitalist Radio broadcast, and it is Ghost.report, baby. I love being independent. I'm telling you this right now. Type it in your browser, add it to your bookmarks, to your favorites. Ghost.report. Okay? That's the official website of the True Capitalist Radio broadcast. We independent now! Anyway, folks, before we get started, please follow me on the last bastion of social media today on Gab. If you don't have a free Gab account, I don't know what the hell you're doing, especially when you got these Silicon Valley oligarchs out here thinking that they could become the gatekeepers of freedom of speech. By God, get yourself a Gab account, the last bastion of freedom of speech. You can find me on there, on Gab, under the name Politics Ghost, all right? Politics Ghost, all one word, no underscores, Politics Ghost. And I want to say what's going on to the True Capitalist Radio chat room, baby. What's going on, man? Anyway, folks, if you want to be a part of the True Capitalist Radio chat room, all you got to do, go to my Gab. That's all you have to do. Go to my Gab. Check out my Gab. Go to my Gab account right now, Politics Ghost, and hit the subscribe button for premium content, all right? Hit the subscribe button for premium content, and once you do, go ahead and private message me on Gab and let me know your Discord chat name so I can give you a private invitation to the True Capitalist Radio chat room, all right? All right, now that we've gotten all that out of the way, I hope you had a very, very good weekend. I know I did. A lot of things to go through, folks. But let me go ahead and lead in right here, first and foremost, about all these damn celebrities just showing their anti-American asses. I mean, did y'all hear Robert De Niro yesterday at the Tony Awards? I want to start off by saying, fuck Trump. Yay, yay, spaghetti, yay. Did everybody see that shit? Jesus Christ. Anyway, folks, everybody at the Tony Awards, which for you folks that don't know, it's those fruity asses that, you know, from the theater. Oh, yeah, it's all the real actors from the theater. They get their recognition at the Tony Awards. Anyway, Robert De Niro, I guess he was presenting some kind of an award. Before he got and presented the award, or got up to present the award, he got on the microphone and said, F Trump. And, of course, everybody in the audience got on their hands and knees, or excuse me, they got, you know what I'm saying, folks. They were clapping, they were getting up, they were hooping and hollering, they were panning the damn crowd. You saw all these damn celebrities saying, yay, yay, fuck Trump, yay. And let me tell you something, folks, when are these people going to get over this shit? I mean, at this point, we're at a midterm election in 2018. It doesn't seem like these Democrats or those that pretend to be on the left wing of the American political persuasion are being very thoughtful as it relates to the way we elect our leaders. And, I mean, I said this last week, and I'm going to say it again. These celebrities are living in their own, like, demigod world. They think they're demigods. They think that whatever they say, that the people that admire their artwork are just going to automatically think it and be it and do it. That's not the case. That's not the case. And look, the more and more you leftists keep rubbing in the faces of average, everyday American people that you don't like this country, you want the country to fail just because your person is not in office, goes to show everyone your true motivations, Democrats, liberals, leftists, whatever the hell you want to call yourselves. You're anti-American scum. You're anti-American trash. And let me tell you, you know what also proves it, folks? Did you all see the clip that's been going around recently about Bill Maher? Bill Maher had a stupid show every goddamn Friday on that liberal hellhole HBO. And on that show, he blatantly admitted his anti-American bias. He said that what we need for Trump to fail is a recession in America. And that's what he says. I'm hoping for a recession in America. Sorry, folks, if this affects you, but we need it because we got to get Trump out of office. I mean, can you believe the liberal lunacy of these people? They hate you, America. I mean, all these people that are in their own elitist bubbles. I mean, you think they give a crap about you? They don't. They care about their own selfish needs. And you know something, folks? We're starting to realize that this entire cabal of people, the media, the deep state, those assholes that are in Washington, D.C., everyone who's been working against the American people, their modus operandi, their MO is globalism. And we're going to talk about this extensively here later, but just showing what the president did to the G7. I mean, good God, look at how the media is reacting. Look at how the media is saying, oh my God, I mean, Trump is going to jeopardize everything. I mean, he's going against our allies. And what did I tell you last week on this broadcast here? I said the way that the world is acting towards us, only reiterates how those that we thought were our allies were not our allies after all. and you know something? It's like your typical American friendship, am I right? In America, when you have a friend or you find yourself befriending somebody, typically it is a one-sided pendulum friendship. And typically what happens in America, folks, is when you have a friend, one side of that friendship is burdening the other side in some capacity. And it could be any capacity, really. It could be that this person always, I need some money. I mean, I'm going to have an operation on my crotch. My child is sick from the autism, and I need money. And every time that person asks that person that's dependent on the other friend, when the dependent friend always asks the other friend, can I have some money? Can I get a ride? Can you do this for me? Can you do that for me? That person's always like, yeah, I'm a good friend. I'm going to go ahead and do it. Yeah, I'm a good friend. Here's some money. Hey, I'm a good friend. Let me take care of your brat-ass autistic kid. Yeah, I'm your friend. Let me do this and that. And you know what ends up happening, folks? You know what I'm getting at. What ends up happening is that person that's the dependent friend ends up just thinking that dependency is a part of the friendship. And that dependency just goes along with what the friendship is. And that's how these assholes in the EU, Canada, Mexico, China, and everybody else that is trying to look at us cross-eyed because we want to renegotiate these lopsided trade deals, which has made all these pieces of shit countries rich. Now all of a sudden they're looking at they're looking like the dependent friend. They're looking like the dependent friend, like, I can't give you a ride today. Okay, I can't do it. As a matter of fact, I can't give you rides anymore. It's costing me money. It's costing me gas. I mean, my car's wearing down because I'm taking you here. I can't keep lending you money because I don't have enough money for myself. I can't do it. When you start telling the dependent friend that you can't do that anymore, That's when the friends are like, what?
You always lend me money. What a fucking selfish asshole. You're a selfish bastard. I know you make money. I'm your friend. I need money. And you always give it to me. You don't give it to me now.
I mean, you understand what I'm talking about, right, folks? This is the way these goddamn countries are acting towards us. And typically when you get to that level of the relationship and friendship, one of two things happens. Either one side that has always been condoning the dependency side submits and says, okay, we'll continue to pay for you, I'll continue to give you the rides, etc., etc. Or that one friend that was always giving no longer gives and says, go fuck yourself. And you see, folks, that's exactly what's happening here in this president's response to the G7. And I'm going to talk about that later. But the reason I got off on this soliloquy, folks, is because the left, the opposition to what the right wing or the current power that is in control of government today, the Democrats, the leftists, the liberals, whatever the hell you want to call them, they want America to fail. They want America to fail. I mean, they want the Korean summit that's happening right now between the President of the United States and Kim Jong-un. They want it to fail. I mean, you heard Bill Maher, this liberal mouthpiece. He wants America to go into a fucking recession so that Trump won't be elected. I mean, folks, people are still coming out of the last recession that Barack Obama supposedly remedied. Remember that shit? I mean, people lost their families. They lost their homes. Some of them lost their lives. They died of broken hearts. They died miserable and broke. And you mean to tell me that you've got fucking champagne socialists disconnected from fucking society, Bill Maher out here trying to wish that a whole population of people in a country go into a recession so that he and his little fucking leftist minions can get the person they want to lead them? This is the modus operandi to leftists, folks. That's why I keep telling you over and over again on this broadcast. There's no reason to befriend a leftist. There's no reason to sit here and try to have some kind of a friendship, relationship, any kind of a fucking correspondence with leftism in America today, because this shows you they don't care. They want to destroy this country. They'd rather see this country go into complete chaos than having to see the country do better under another political philosophy. I mean, I've said many times, folks, okay? I've said many times that, listen, man, if the Democrats on the other side were legitimately, even though I wasn't agreeing with them on how they got there, they legitimately pushed forth whatever their political policies were with the intention of helping America, I wouldn't be against that. I'm not against that. But, folks, you saw the last time these Democrats were in power, every goddamn policy they created destroyed this country. I mean, thank God Donald Trump was elected president, because had fucking Hillary Clinton been president, it would have been over for America. Over. And thank God Donald Trump was elected president, because remember Obama, folks? I mean, instead of giving out opportunities, which is what this government in power today is doing to America, might I remind all of you that in today's Trump America, there are more jobs available than there are people looking for jobs. Let me repeat that one more again. In Trump's America, there are more jobs available right now than there are people looking for jobs. That wasn't the case in Obama's America. Y'all remember? I'm sure if you were looking for a job back in the old days during the Barack Obama tenure, you remember. They destroyed this country, folks. I mean, lest we forget that Barack Obama put on more debt on the United States deficit than all presidents before him combined. I mean, lest we forget that shit. And where did all that fucking money go, folks? All right? All that debt that Barack Obama and the Democrats accumulated during the 8 years that Barack Obama was in fucking power, where did all that trillions of dollars go? Folks, it went to the pockets of everybody right now who's in opposition to the President of the United States, Donald Trump. And all you've got to do, and I hate to repeat this, but it bears repeating. It bears fucking repeating. Take a look at Stimulus Package 2. One of the first pieces of legislation that the Democrats initiated right as Barack Obama and the Democrats took power in 2009. The Stimulus Package 2. Take a look at all the people that got a big chunk of that $1 trillion giveaway of the American tax-paying dollar. Hollywood got a chunk. Hence why they hate Trump. You think these people are actually loyal because they're actually politically motivated? These people are selfish pieces of shit. They know that if they get another Democrat in power, that they can have another raid on the American tax system and put more money in their pockets. Take a look at academia and how much money in the Stimulus Package 2 was given in that context. Take a look at climate change and all these scientists, all this crap. You know, in Stimulus Package 2, I remember reporting that they gave, I think, what is it, a couple of $1 million so that they could study pig odor. A couple of $1 million to study pig odor. I wonder who was the professor at what fucking college that got that kosher-ass grant, which probably mostly went into his own goddamn white pocket. You know, little white coat pocket with a little beaker and shit. Get the fuck out of here. We have to open our eyes. Now that we're politically awake, we have to understand why the enemy, which is all these leftists in America, why they're so goddamn loyal to this ridiculous, warped, progressive, quasi-socialist, communist perspective of liberalism in today's America. And believe me, for the majority of them, they are not politically motivated. They got paid. They got paid, man. Anyway, listen to me, man. I think it's about time we've had enough of these goddamn celebrities thinking that they can just go on a damn spotlight, on a media, on a television, on whatever, and think that they can say such anti-American things, anti-American trash on our airwaves, on American airwaves, and nothing's going to happen to these people. I mean, only in America can this happen, folks. I mean, listen, it's one thing to be critical of Donald Trump. It's one thing to come at Donald Trump and say, look, I'm critical of Donald Trump because of his policies towards this and that, and I don't agree with it based on whatever, some kind of substance-based point. But everybody is just, I hate Donald Trump. Well, why do you hate Donald Trump?
I hate him because he's racist, and he's sexist, and...
Racist and sexist is all I fucking hear, for Christ's sake, man. Even though this guy has probably done some of the most anti-racist policies, even fucking race-baiting Obama. And what the fuck did Obama do for you black folks? I mean, with all due respect, what did Barack Obama do for you black folks to be so goddamn loyal to this mulatto? He didn't do shit for you. I mean, why don't you look at the black statistics? Black home ownership fell, black unemployment went up, black dependency on welfare went up, black crime went up, black fucking gun crime went up, etc., etc. More black people were put in prison because of Barack Obama's tenure. I mean, what in the fucking blue hell are you black people holding on to whenever we talk about Obama and basically say the facts about this asshole? What are you fucking holding on to? Man, he black, baby. You understand? You not understanding, baby. You motherfucker white-ass cracker-ass cracker. You just hate Obama, man. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, folks, only in America can Bill Maher get on the goddamn television and wish upon all of us that we have another recession? Do y'all remember the recession, man? I mean, listen, I was a badass capitalist. I had to even be a fucking better, more creative, pulling more money out of my ass because of the goddamn debasing of the currency, etc., during the Obama administration to keep my fucking shit afloat so my lifestyle wouldn't take a step back. And let me tell you something, I beat Obama. Even though Obama tried to beat me and other capitalists, he tried to break us down with his fucking policies and shit. You know what? Hey, Obama, I'm still fucking standing, huh? Hey, Obama, you fucking mulatto, I'm still standing. What are you going to say about that? You tried to take the capitalists out, but we rose up. I said it. I said it 10 years ago. And we're here, and we're not only taking over this country, the capitalists are taking over the fucking world. And if you don't believe me, take a look outside. Take a look at the news. The capitalists are taking over the fucking world. And thank God for it. I'll tell you that right now. Thank God for it. Anyway, folks, let me go ahead and get on to other things. But before I do, once again, I'm not just singling out Bill Maher or De Niro or Samantha Bee. All of these people, what makes them think that they could be anti-American trash on a national television and think that they can get away with that? Think that they could just go into a fucking nightclub and nobody's going to give a shit while they're basking in American freedom, taking advantage of American liberty. I mean, only in America can we have foreigners, fucking foreigners on our television bashing our country, and they're making millions. I mean, look at this fucking limey asshole, John Oliver, for Christ's sake. John Oliver, who on a weekly basis just bashes our fucking country like he's some pompous fucking crumpet fucking eating, tea drinking Brit. And he thinks he can just get away with this shit. I mean, I just can't believe this shit. Do you think I, folks, could go to Britain right now and have a show and just start bashing Britain? Just start bashing the hell out of it, and you don't think that Brits are going to have a problem and want to kick the fucking shit out of me? Of course they would! Of course they would! They rightfully should! Do you think I could go to Australia right now and just start bashing Australians and getting paid for it and that sort of thing? No! I mean, it just pisses me off that these people, man, like fucking Trevor Noah and these fucking, that fat femme that on late night, I forgot his fucking, that stupid limey's name. I mean, Samantha Bee's a fucking Canadian bacon piece of shit. I mean, that Australian asshole on the goddamn Comedy Central. I mean, I'm tired of this shit. How dare you foreigners come to my fucking country and think that you're going to make money bashing our fucking country and think that you're going to fucking walk our streets safe? Makes me fucking sick, man. It makes me fucking sick. Here we are. We can't even protect ourselves according to these fucking little fruit bowl, little anti-Second Amendment activists out here.
Oh, you can't use the Second Amendment to protect yourself because, you know, my kids, they feel a little apprehensive about going to school because you're practicing your Second Amendment. I mean, we can't even protect our neighborhoods, and yet these assholes walk the face of the fucking, like, I mean, De Niro. I mean, you know, like, this guy can just walk the streets of New York like no big deal, and nobody's going to give him a slap. You know, I'm sorry. I mean, this is the way America needs to start fucking being, man. We need to have some fucking integrity and some pride in ourselves. And let me tell you something. I know I should be moving on. I actually have a interview later on in the broadcast with Tom Kaczynski. I'm sorry. Tom Kaczynski, the ex-Jackman, Maine city manager that made waves this past January when, unfortunately, you had a bunch of Antifa assholes using some things that he would potentially post on social media against him, and had the city, unfortunately, have to make a move to buy out his contract to avoid any kind of, quote, controversy. So we're gonna get to him as soon as we possibly can here at about 7:15, maybe 7:20.
But, I mean, this has to be said, man. I mean, we need to have some integrity. We need to have some pride for our fucking country. And, you know, President Trump, he has inspired me so much that, you know, whenever I look at the man and see how he's going 100 miles an hour, I mean, it was his birthday. It's his birthday, for Christ's sake. He just turned 72. And this man is going 100 miles an hour. I mean, he's going all over the world. He's doing deals. He's making America great again. I mean, he's an inspiration. I mean, he makes me think, what the hell am I doing with my life? You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to be honest with you, folks. I am not drinking today. And I am going to try to stop drinking cold turkey because, listen, I mean, sometimes we have to realize that, man, you know, you don't need to drink anymore. I mean, the reason I drank was because the conservative movement started going towards this direction of liberalism. And if you want to go look back in those archives and take a look at those episodes from 2008 and 2009, you'll understand what I'm talking about. Those old archives are still at blogtalkradio.com/ghost. But, I mean, that's why I started drinking, folks. I started drinking because the conservative movement went the way of the liberal. I mean, lest we forget the Republican Convention of 2008. The Republican Convention of 2008 was a liberal coronation that the fucking liberals had taken control of our party. Hence, John McCain was the fucking candidate for president, and he brought in Sarah Eskimo Bimbo Palin. Okay? Jesus Christ, don't let me relive that shit. I mean, let's be honest, okay, folks? I mean, let's be honest. That was the first time you ever saw at a Republican convention that we were just embracing teen pregnancy, teenage shitting out of children. Remember that? Oh, yeah, remember Bristol Palin, man, she had just shitted out her kid, and everybody just had to pretend that it was fucking kid was a gift from God. Oh, it's a gift from God just because it was Sarah Palin's goddamn daughter, for Christ's sake. Give me a fucking break, man. Anyway, once I started realizing that this is the kind of crap that conservatism was going to be, I said, why am I a conservative then, man? You know, why the fuck am I conservative? So I just started drinking. And I haven't stopped, man. I have been drinking every fucking day. Probably stop. There's 2 weeks out of those days from, let me see, I was probably drinking every day from 2010 to about right now. 2010 to about right now, and whenever I would stop, it would be maybe an equivalent of a week and a half. I stopped, you know, throughout that whole tenure from 2010 to 2018. I'm not kidding, man. I'm drinking every day. Probably did a lot of damage to myself. Look, and I'm willing to accept that. But a lot of the reasons why I was drinking so much was because of the way society was turning itself into, man. I mean, y'all remember Obama? I mean, everybody wanted to be a fucking welfare case, man. I remember going into shopping centers, grocery stores, and feeling like a fucking idiot because I felt like I was the only moron that still paid for my fucking food. You know that? I mean, I'm not even kidding. It seemed like everybody had a fucking food stamp card, and I was the only moron that was like, okay, I'm going to still pay for my fucking food with my own fucking cash. I felt like an idiot. But you know what? Even though I felt like an idiot, I was like, you know something? I refuse, man. I fucking refuse to be a subject to the state. I'm a fucking capitalist. I don't give a shit if everybody has got a fucking goddamn welfare card or a Lone Star card or an EBT or whatever the fucking case might be. I don't give a shit. I'm not going to do it. And that's literally what Obama was for 8 years. Watching a bunch of people who used to be productive, who used to work for a living, who used to go out and do things. Once Obama came into power...
I don't really feel like working because I don't have to. So I'm just going to go and, like, kick back and, you know, collect all this, like, you know, entitlements and unemployment and welfare and, you know, all this stuff. And I'm just going to kick back for a while, you know, just kicking back.
That's literally, that's what the fucking Obama was all about, man. I can't stand it. I can't stand it. I can't stand it. I can't stand it. Anyway, folks, let me move on. All right, let me move on, and let me get to a little bit of some markets here, and then I'm going to go over a couple of things, and then we're going to go ahead and move on to Tom Kaczynski. Once again, the former city manager of Jackman, Maine, who made headlines in January because Antifa and other leftists found some social media postings that I guess didn't agree with them. They brought it to the attention of the town, which brought it to the attention of national media, which, put the unfortunate small town in a precarious situation, so they bought out his contract. Luckily, unfortunately, he lost his position. He has written a book, and we definitely want to hear from that. I know he is a white civil rights activist. This is a man who understands that there's a culture war happening here in America, and I think he writes about it very extensively. So we're going to try to see if we can get to him here at about 7:20. And once we do, we're going to go ahead and probably just run the rest of the show with Mr. Kaczynski, because I'm sure we're going to have some very, very good dialogue and debate, to say the least, because I talk to him frequently, and the guy's a brilliant man, to say the least. So, with that being said, that's coming up here, like I said, 7:20. Let's make it 7:25, just in case I get on another soliloquy about some shit. But first, let's go ahead and go to cryptocurrencies. Now, folks, I'm sure some of you are like, what the hell's happening, Ghost? How come this damn market is bottoming the hell out? What's going on here? Well, unfortunately, folks, there's two factors that caused the major contraction here in the past 2 days. One, obviously, is the increase in the value of the dollar, but that wasn't the only thing. The other factor was the fact that a huge exchange out of South Korea, the exchange called CoinRail had gotten hacked, and that particular hack sent shockwaves all over the damn cryptocurrency market. And what ends up happening whenever you have a hack on an exchange, especially a very prominent one that is used by a lot of users, that provides a lot of volume to the market, it has this ripple effect in which you got people that have money in exchanges. And let me tell you, some of these cryptos, some of these big-time crypto players, they got a lot of crypto on exchanges. And whenever they hear that an exchange got hacked, what do they want to do? They want to either sell off, or they want to take their shit out of exchanges and hold it in their own private wallets, which is, in essence, takes the cryptocurrency out of the market, etc. So we were hit with a double whammy. Like I said, aside from the increase in the dollar value, which is going to, show its impact in cryptocurrency, we also saw that hack on CoinRail, and that's what rippled the market, man. I mean, hacks, I don't blame markets for reacting in the capacity that they do. I mean, because some people hold a lot of crypto on exchanges, and the last thing that you want to hear is that, there was a hack on your exchange, and then you have some Chinaman trying to assure you, no, funds are safe. Don't worry, funds are safe. Our funds are safe. So anyway, that's why we saw the decreases in the past couple of days. But I hope that means that you went out and you got some. I hope that means that you accumulated some crypto, because that's what you want to do. All right, that's what you want to do. When you see red, you want to go in. All right, that's when you want to go in. So hopefully all those that had some spare liquidity went in. I know that there was a lot of people in the inner circle, and actually some people in the True Capitalist Radio chat room, that actually took the advice, went in, and they're profiting generously as we speak. Now, even though we saw the market capitalization of cryptocurrency, the cumulative market capitalization yesterday, go down as far as $292 billion. $290 billion for the entire crypto market. Now, that was a little scary, but once again, I said that the dollar is affecting it, and not to mention the CoinRail hack. Now that everybody's gotten and come to their senses, we're starting to see a bounce back as we speak, folks. We're starting to see a bounce back in crypto markets as we speak. The current market capitalization for the cryptocurrency market is $302 billion. $302 billion. So we have bounced back $10 to $12 billion in the market cap since the last time I checked it, which was probably about 4 or 5 hours ago. So with that being said, folks, I don't want to go over too many of these cryptos. As a matter of fact, I think I'm going to skip going over the cryptos here because, you know, everybody knows that it was pretty much in the red. Right now that we're seeing this bounce back as we speak, everything is in the green. But if you want my opinion, if you want my opinion, my humble opinion on what to get right now as things are going up, I hate to say Bitcoin, but, you know, you got a lot of bag holders on Bitcoin up to 20 grand. And I want to also say, folks, that the Federal Reserve has hinted here, and you can look this up online and find a couple of articles on this. The Federal Reserve has hinted that they are going to potentially and maybe halt interest rate hikes. They are going to potentially halt interest rate hikes. And if they halt interest rate hikes, folks, that's what's going to cause this damn market to go up. And that's actually would be a beautiful, beautiful music, to say the least, to hear that the Federal Reserve is not going to raise interest rates. But if you want my personal opinion on a couple of cryptos to look at right now, Bitcoin, I like Bitcoin right now. Once again, you got bag holders up to 20 grand. Bitcoin Cash, I think, is very, very low right now. It's at about 958. I think it's got a lot of room to grow. Remember, the highest it's been is about 3 grand. So you've got some room to grow at this point in the short term. Let me take a look at a couple of other ones here that I can give you. Obviously, Quantum. I hope that y'all bought Quantum, QTUM. I mean, good God. I mean, you would be up 4% on your money if you would have bought it yesterday. Zcash, ZEC, folks. Take a look at Zcash, folks. I'm telling you, before you know it, you're going to wake up and it's $800. I'm telling you. All right? Obviously, 0x, symbol ZRX. The reason is because the blockchain technology that comprises 0x is in the exchange Paradox. And Paradox was recently bought out by Coinbase. So at some point, we're going to see either 0x being traded on Coinbase or the technology of 0x on Coinbase. Either way, it's obviously going to be a win for 0x. So ZRX is the symbol. It's another symbol another cryptocurrency I like here. Let me take a look at a couple more so that I can give you guys. Obviously, Basic Attention Token. I think Basic Attention Token is very, very low right now. It's at 23 cents over. It's just $1 billion in circulation. At least this one has not only an idea as it relates to being an alternative for independent content creators on the internet, which is something that is very much needed, and I'm speaking from personal hand experience. But aside from it being a potential for paying content creators, it has its own browser. Basic Attention Coin has its own browser, so they're going to integrate that coin in that browser. I like the long-term potential of that, so that's another one that I think is very, very low, and it's a very good one to entertain as well. Last but not least, folks, 42 Coin, all right? Now, I hope y'all saw that 42 Coin didn't go down much during the contraction because, once again, it is a safe haven to put your cryptocurrency in during contractions. Not to mention it's a great pattern and swing trading play. And moreover, folks, it's a long-term investment, man. All right, I'm telling you, here in the next year, here this year, I should say, there's going to be another exchange that's going to take this particular coin. And once it does, I'm just telling you. I'm just goddamn saying, all right? Anyway, let's go ahead and get to some stocks here, folks, because I don't want to go overboard too much, if you will. Let's go ahead and go to the stock market. Now, what have I told you, folks, about the stock market? Bullish, bullish, bullish. Even amidst all the tariff talk, right? Even amidst all the tariff talk and,
oh my God, is Trump really free market even though he doesn't let the Euro cucks and everybody else just abuse the American system? And, oh my God.
I mean, not even the market is fazed by what's going on here with all this tariff talk, man. Not even they're phased. I'm not even kidding. I'm not even kidding, man. And it's brilliant. It's brilliant too, because if they are not going to react as it relates to the so-called tariff talk, then what is it that the investment community of the stock market is going to react to? You know what I'm saying? I'll tell you what they're going to react to. They are going to react to the good news that's going to happen throughout the the season. Anyway, folks, let me go ahead and continue on here. Hold on, I'm multitasking. I know everybody's like, Ghost, what are you doing? You're fucking with yourself or what? I'm trying to hook up something here. All right, give me some time. Jesus Christ. Give me. This is what happens when you stop drinking, man. And engineer, can you help me out, for Christ's sake? Can you help me out over here? All right, well, he's going to help me out. My apologies, folks. I'm just trying to... Can you please hurry the fuck up, engineer? Anyway, we're trying to hook up Mr. Kaczynski here, and, you know... It's one of these goddamn, like, kind of new deals that I'm doing as it pertains to patching people in. You know what I'm saying? So, with that being said, my apologies, folks, okay? My apologies on here. I'm trying to, hook this up. All right, we're here. All right, I think we're here. Okay. Let me go ahead and go through the stock rundown here, because I do not want that to be overlooked, because I know that everybody wants to know what's going down on the stock market. Once again, bullish on the stock market. The news is that we're at a tariff war, but it doesn't seem to be affecting the investors in Wall Street. Why? Because, folks, the tax cut, first and foremost. Secondly, you have the Republicans talking about a phase 2 to the tax cut. So whatever the companies are going to be adding to their profits based on the tax cuts that were passed earlier this year, it's also going to be added potentially in the 2019 fiscal year. So, I mean, we're going to see nothing but better than expected earnings across the board, especially now that if these dumbass countries don't want to play ball with us, we're going to have to use our own industry and our own private enterprise to be able to manufacture some of these goods that would have otherwise been imported under the old trade deals that we used to oblige. So in essence, the Wall Street's not dumb. I mean, even though you've got everybody crying foul that, oh my God, Trump, he's doing that to our allies, I can't believe it. I mean, the stock market is not moving. I mean, if it's moving anywhere, it's moving on the positive side. Take a look. Dow Jones Industrial, baby. Dow Jones Industrial is up 5.78 points, a percentage increase of 0.02%, closing out the Dow at 25,322.31 points for the Dow Jones Industrial. All right, we've got the S&P 500. It is up 2.97 points, a percentage increase of 0.11%, closing out the S&P at 2,782 points even. Let's take a look at the NASDAQ. The NASDAQ is up 14.42 points, a percentage increase of 0.19%, closing out the NASDAQ at 7,659.93 points for the NASDAQ composite. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at commodities, folks, because, once again, let's go ahead and see what's going on as it relates to this dollar continuously to increase in value and how that's reflected in the commodities prices. Energy. Let's go right to energy. WTI sweet crude, which is the crude oil that is consumed by America, It is up slightly, 4 cents, a percentage increase of 0.06%, closing out, or actually the current price for WTI sweet crude is $66.14 per barrel of WTI sweet crude. We've got Brent crude up 3 cents, a percentage increase of 0.04%. Current price for Brent crude is $76.49 per barrel of Brent crude oil. We've got gasoline up 0.06%. We've got natural gas up 0.24%. We've got heating oil up 0.06%. Let's go ahead and get to the metals, shall we? The metals! Let's get to the goddamn metals! Somebody just said on Gab that it sounds like I'm trying to hook my nuts to a car battery. Hey, look. Hey, pal. All right? Hey, pal. I'm just trying to, get things situated here, all right? I've got a fucking interview in a fucking 10 minutes, and I want to make sure it's okay. Do you fucking mind? Jesus Christ, man. Anyway, let me move on. I'm sorry. I got obnoxious jerk dicks that just don't appreciate that I'm sitting here and I'm trying to have a conversation, trying to do things, trying to, I got all these freaking wires here. Anyway, let me move on. All right, precious metals. The metals! Let's get to the goddamn metals. We've got gold down $1.30, a percentage decrease of 0.10%, closing out gold at $1,301.90 per troy ounce of gold. We've got silver also down today 3 cents, a percentage decrease of 0.16%, closing out silver at $16.93 per troy ounce of silver. Let's get to agriculture commodities. Let's get to the grains. Corn is up 0.20%. We've got wheat. It is unchanged today. Wheat is unchanged. We've got oats unchanged today. Rough rice is up. Good God, what the hell's going on with rice? Rice is up 4.11% increase on the day. I mean, good Jesus God. We've got soybean up 0.29%. Soybean oil is up 0.23%, and canola is up 0.04%. Let's go ahead and get to the soft, shall we? Cocoa is down 0.86%. Coffee is down 0.13%. Sugar is up 0.96%. Orange juice is down 1.38%. Cotton is down 0.99%. Lumber is down 1.70%. Rubber is up 0.59%. And ethanol is down 1.45%. Let's get to livestock, shall we, boys? Livestock, live cattle, it is down 1.51%. We've got cattle feeder down 0.90%. We've got lean hogs down 1.64%. And that, my friends, is the markets for your ass, all right? And listen, I've got a Coca-Cola that I'm drinking here. I wish it was a beer, but I had a Coca-Cola. So I'm reduced to that. But hey, look, I mean, I'm going to be completely honest with you. I feel that I should be. I feel like I feel good. I feel good right now. I feel good. Even though I may be, fiending for a little bit of goddamn, a little bit of drink, I feel good. I feel great. I feel wonderful. All right. Now, with that being said, let's go ahead and I know that everybody wants to take shout-outs here. I know everybody wants to get all goofy and things of that capacity. I do not. I want to talk a little bit about the G7 summit really fast, and then we're going to go right into Mr. Kaczynski's interview because we're running low on time as it is, okay? Now, once again, what did I tell everybody on the broadcast last week? I was saying screw Canada, screw Mexico, screw China, and screw anybody else that doesn't want to do business with America. I mean, lest we forget, folks, lest we forget that we were the ones that enabled these goddamn countries to be what they are. We're the ones that have been able to build China and all the ghost cities and skyscrapers and all the billions and everything of that capacity. We're the ones that helped build the European Union. We're the ones that are helping build all these countries with these imbalanced trade deals. And now that we're like, hey, look, that's about enough. You've been doing this to us for 30 years. You know, you've gotten enough money from us. That's enough. We want a little bit more of an even trade here. All we're doing is just giving you money, and you're not buying garbage from us. You're not buying diddly from us. And I had been talking about this particular issue, trade. And you can go back in the archives, if you don't believe me, for 10 years. And I'm so glad that Donald Trump is hitting goddamn trade head on. And I'm sick and tired of all these people in the mainstream media claiming that these people that we're trying to renegotiate trade deals with, these fucking assholes at the G7 summit, are our allies. This is not how you treat an ally. You don't tell an ally that, oh, you can't put tariffs on us. It's illegal. Oh, you can't do that to us. You can't renegotiate your trade deal. I mean, did you hear what happened and why everything happened? Well, for you folks that are unaware, the president, he tried to give some positivity to the G7 summit before he left. Remember, the president was going to leave early. He didn't want to stick around with these idiots. Not to mention, he had to meet Kim Jong-un in Singapore for the Korean summit. So he left early, and prior to him leaving, he gave some decent remarks, and gave those remarks to the public, and then was on the plane. And in those remarks, he alluded to the fact that Justin Trudeau was okay, and they had a good talk, and that, you know, Justin Trudeau understands, and we're going to negotiate some kind of a deal, etc., etc. And then this fucking fruit bowl bastard, this Canadian bacon, moose humping, maple leaf up the ass having fruit bowl, had the audacity to come on when Trump was in the air to Singapore. He had the audacity to come out and say, well, we are going to move forward with the responsive tariffs, and we're going to do this swiftly and sternly. The Canadian people are nice people, but we are not going to be pushed around. Completely backstabbing the president! And the president, while in mid-flight, just went Twitter bombing on him and said, you know what? Screw this. You know what? The G7 summit can suck my schlong. You know what, Trudeau? You can throw all your goddamn tariffs and shove them up your ass. We don't need any of your shit. All right, you stupid Canadian fruit bowl. I mean, you want to know why Justin Trudeau is so fucking scared and he thought that he could somehow manipulate Trump into doing something? Because this stupid, dumb asshole, this poshole, and listen, let me tell you something. He's a fucking poshole, okay? In my opinion, he is HIV positive. Did you see him in that fucking speech in which he described that, yeah, well, we're going to move forward with the tariffs on the Americans, and we're going to move swiftly, and we're Canadians, but you're not going to push us around. When he gave that fucking speech, his eyebrow, did y'all see his eyebrow fall off? His eyebrow was falling off. His eyebrow was falling off. That's a fucking pothole. I mean, give me a break, man. Look at how he sits. Look at how he sits. He sits like he's got like some butt plug up his ass. He walks like he's got a stick up his ass. And not to mention, I mean, you know, look, I don't need to know that that's what you do. You know, I mean, I don't have anything against LGBTQ except their fucking agenda as a group at this point, except them trying to penetrate our children in more ways than fucking one, you sick fucking pedo perverts. But I don't need to know, Trudeau, that, you know, obviously you and your wife got some kind of situation going. You know, you all got an understanding, because I see all kinds of pictures of Trudeau with disgusting drag queens looking like, yeah, bitch, I'm with the drag queens, bitch. And all these gay pride parades having a good old time. I mean, give me a break, man. Listen, I don't mean to be talking about this guy's fruit bowlness or whatever, but let's be honest. The reason that he is so scared is because he sold all the gold reserves of Canada. I mean, Canada had a gold surplus, sold it all to finance this little immigration bullshit that he's having in Canada. And look, we saw the Ontario elections. Doug Ford and the Progressive Conservative Party took the throne, took control after a 15-year liberal run in that province. Hopefully that is a ripple effect across Canada. And hopefully you Canadians need to realize that, hey, we need to vote for a party that is in complete opposition to the one Justin Trudeau is running our country down the tube on. So as far as I'm concerned, worst case scenario, folks, worst case. Let's say all the goddamn countries, China, Canada, Mexico, the EU, all of them, we don't get a deal. And we just stop trading with them. That's almost $1 trillion worth of trade and money going outward that's just going to stay here in America. That's like almost $1 trillion that's going to stay here in this country. You don't think that that's going to aid the economic productivity and the prosperity and the wealth generation of this country? You don't think that because there are some products that the EU or China or whoever we don't have a goddamn trade deal with used to provide, you don't think that there's going to be a producer here in this country that'll provide it? I mean, give me a freaking break. Give me a break. Anyway, folks, let me go ahead and segue into the main meat of this broadcast. We're going to go ahead and interview a good friend of mine. I'd like to consider him a friend. He's a part of my inner circle, Tom Kaczynski. Tom Kaczynski is a white civil rights activist who was recently in the news in around the January, February of this year. He was the former city manager of Jackman, Maine. Unfortunately, he was the target of Antifa, and Antifa kind of took different social media posts and certain things they found about Tom on the internet and kind of used that against him to get him removed from his position as the Jackman city manager. And since then, he's made lemonade out of lemons and has written a book. He has, gone around certain parts of the country speaking about white civil rights and the culture wars in America. So this is definitely somebody who is definitely understanding what's going on here in America. Definitely somebody who is influential in the white civil rights movement, if you will. Now, for those folks that are unaware of what white civil rights is, that is what the alt-right and the white nationalists wish they were. And we're going to have Tom here in just 1 second explain that in explicit detail. But I'm going to be the first to acknowledge, even though I am not a fan of white nationalism or of the alt-right at all, because I believe the modus operandi of both of those variants of so-called right-wing political philosophy want national socialism. They both want to relinquish their individual decision, their choice, their thought to the state. And I don't care if you're a white nationalist alt-right or an Antifa Black Lives Matter, both sides, even though they're claiming to be against each other, want socialism. And I'm a capitalist, baby. I don't believe in socialism. As a matter of fact, I think the only good socialist is one that's been put in the ground. That's all I'm saying, all right? I don't like socialism. I'm a capitalist. I'm an individualist. And Tom, on the other hand, he is approaching white civil rights from an individualist perspective, but understands that there needs to be a cultural component so that there can be some glue of Americana civilization. And me and Tom have discourse, and you're probably going to hear it in this broadcast, in which I believe that economics alone could potentially change and rectify society if government itself would remove itself and remove its influence over our lives. Tom, on the other hand, believes that we need not necessarily government, but certain institutions or a social contract in which we understand that we can't have certain cultural radicalisms that end up throwing society into a chaotic whirlwind in which we are, single-parented, pure debauchery, decadence, etc. So, with that being said, this should be a very interesting debate here. I'm looking very much forward to this. So let me look at the engineer. Engineer, what the hell? You got Tom Kaczynski on the line here? All right, folks. Well, we're going to go ahead and skip the whole rigmarole for we're gonna skip the chat shout outs and the shout outs here. Now wait a minute. Why is there two people on the horn here? Why is there two people on the horn? Hold on. Mr. Kaczynski, is this you? Are you there? Mr. Kaczynski, are you there?
I am, Ghost. Thank you. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, we can. I think we can. I think we've got you. All right, Ray, go right ahead. How are you doing, first and foremost? And secondly, I'd like for you yourself to introduce yourself. I tried to, do the best I could. But introduce yourself to us there, Tom Kaczynski. Give us a little bit about, why you're in the position that you're in, a little bit about your book, and a little bit about what you think about the current state of America and why you think that we're in such a precarious situation on a social constructal level. Social construct level.
Can you hear me okay? It seems like your line is cutting out on your end.
All right, can you hear me now? Hello. Testes. Tom, you there?
I am. Maybe we should try to do this through Discord. It seems like there is a technical difficulty where this is going in and out.
I can hear you just fine. Are you having problems hearing me?
I am. Yeah, you're going out about every 30 seconds, unfortunately. There's something with the line. I don't think it's my line, though. My connection looks good.
Oh, man. Here, well, let me try this again. Hold on just 1 second.
Yes, sir?
Sorry about this, folks. We're going to try this one mo again and see if we can see what's going on here with the new way that we're bringing in people into the line here. I think everybody can hear Mr. Kaczynski. I just don't think that he himself can hear me. So let me try this one more time and see if they can hear me here. Mr. Kaczynski, can you hear me now? Or am I still cutting out like every 30 seconds? Mr. Kaczynski, can you hear me? Oh, man. Well, I guess not. Well, we'll go ahead and try it on, let's go ahead and try it on Discord. I know it's Discord. So let's go ahead and do it in that capacity. Let me go ahead and do that. All right. My apologies, folks. I thought we had everything there. I thought everything was cool. But unfortunately, you know how technical difficulties are, folks, so it is what it is. All right, here we go. I'm going to go ahead and invite him in here to the chat. I got a private chat so that we can have people exclusive into the interview room, so to speak. Once again, folks, we are waiting for Tom Kaczynski to go into a Discord chat room here. I just invited him. Hopefully he can get the invite and we can go ahead and get on with the interview. My apologies for all the technical difficulties because, We're independent now. You know what I'm saying? And unfortunately, when you're independent, this is the kind of stuff that you got to go through, trial by error type of stuff, man. So, yeah, that's what we're doing. I'm still waiting for him. I just invited him to the into the room, but I guess he didn't get the invite. Hold on, let me see if I can do something else here. Did get the invite? No, I didn't get the invite. All right, well, we're in there. Okay, how about in the IC chat? Hold on. My apologies, folks. Man, dead air. I fucking hate dead air. I'm sorry, folks. Jesus Christ. This is what I get for being in a fucking pendant, man. Good God. You see what I'm saying, folks? I mean, and then on top of this, I'm supposed to be doing like fucking radio graffiti for all these people or something. I mean, good God. Is he coming on? Is he going to be on, I don't know if he's coming on the Discord. What the hell? I mean, is that it? Is that it? Let's go. Well, but look, I don't want to leave any more dead air, bro. So what we're gonna do here is we're just gonna go ahead and I'm gonna just move on with the broadcast until we figure out what's going on. Can you figure out what's going on here, engineer? God damn it! Jesus Christ. Anyway, let me go ahead. Oh, and look, they want me to do shout-outs. Oh, yeah, is that it? Is that what you want me to do? You want me to do shout-outs for you? Huh? Would that be great? Huh? I mean, we're just going to go ahead and do shout-outs while we're just chilling here or something? Hold on. He did call one more time. So let me see if it's me or if it's let's see what happens. All right? I mean, we're going to try the phone one more time. It worked on Radio Graffiti, damn it. Let's see what happens here. Hold on. Let me see if I can turn this up. Turn this up. Turn that up. All right, here we go. Jesus Christ, I got all this electrical equipment everywhere. Hey, Tom, what's going on, man? Can you hear me?
I think someone doesn't want us to have a conversation. It's a hell of a thing, isn't it?
Yeah, no kidding, man. What's going on?
I tell you what, it's like you said, when I got political, it became a lot harder to talk to people. I don't know if it was your end or my end, but I've seen things go all crazy today. But I think I've got my end working good, and I can hear you okay on that end. So I apologize to you and the listeners for the problem. I just couldn't hear you before, but I hear you clearly now.
Okay, good. That's good to hear, man. And thank you for tuning in with us. And my apologies for the technical mix-up, but like you said, when you deal in political controversial issues, you'll end up getting, whether it's the feds, whether it's, the entities that control the fiber optic networks, whatever the case might be, they definitely want to prohibit free thought and free conversation. So thank you for coming in, and give us a rundown, man. What's your book about? Give us a little bit about white civil rights and a little bit about, your time as Jackman city manager and how Antifa targeted you so that you could basically be removed from your position. So go right ahead, sir. The floor is yours.
Thank you, Ghost. Just to give you the very short version, because you've heard my story before, and I know the capitalist army has as well, I was working as the town manager up here in Jackman, Maine, which is a small town, and I had made comments disparaging of Islam and talking about the right of free association, which is a protected First Amendment right on social media. There was basically a political hit put out on me, as there are many people who dare to speak out against the politically correct agenda. And as Ghost accurately proclaimed, I ended up being bought out of my contract. Now, when this happened, I decided that the time had come to talk about why and how these things happened, and it inspired me to write a book called Someone Has to Say It, The Hidden History of How America Was Lost. And in this book, which is about 250 pages, it really lays out, decade by decade, how the Marxists, the leftists, and all the people who were looking to change America and radically transform it worked over the last 100 years to take what was a free state where people had a great deal of liberty and create problems such that government was able to insert itself into every aspect of our lives, and in so doing destroy the civil society that maintains us. And we can talk about the economics of it, the culture of it. There's a lot of different points in the book. But it lays out point by point, decade by decade, how this happened. And a key part of it is the sort of dialectical planning where you would go out there and you'd have choices created where either solution would require the state to get involved, or require government to get bigger, or require individuals to give up their liberty and their freedom. And as you look at this, you begin to realize that what we live in today is not an accident, where we have this politically correct culture where people can get fired for saying things, as simple as saying, I am a white man and proud to be white, or saying that Islam, a religion that degrades women, is one that is incompatible with the West, where that would have been just simple reason and logic. We now live in an age of fantasy where there's this radical idealism people must subscribe to. And if they don't, they face real social consequences. And I think that's one reason why you see so many people act anonymously. But I have taken up this fight, and I'm certainly not alone in that, but a great many people are out there where we are speaking basically for nature and reason and for the combination of liberty and responsibility, as opposed to having these Marxists dictate how we're going to live our lives by censorship and control. So that's what the book is about, and I work as an advocate for these sorts of causes in a big way, and I'm happy to talk about anything in there. The book is available on Amazon, and if you want to get it personally from me, you can look at my website at nationalright.us, and I'm sure I'll mention that again later, but I think that's a good place to start the conversation.
All right. Now, you are, and I'd like to make this very, very distinguished, you are a different variant than the proverbial alt-right and white nationalists that, everyone, including the media, has kind of put synonymous with anybody who they deem extreme right. Am I correct? I mean, you are pro-white, but you're not necessarily trying to advocate white nationalism.
Yeah, I think, labels get tossed around by the media to try to make people be judged and castigated. I'm certainly not a supremacist. I just think that every group has the ability and the desire to feel pride in themselves, in their heritage, in their people, and the right to associate with whom they choose. I know a lot of people who are alt-right, who are white nationalists, and what I try to do really that sort of distinguishes myself is I talk to all sorts of people on what you'd call broadly the right wing of the political spectrum, and encourage people to work against our common enemies, which are the Marxists, the hardcore leftists, progressives, communists, socialists. And one thing that does distinguish me from a lot of people who are in the movement, as they say, is that I really put the emphasis on self-improvement, on, admitting that, white people, it's like anyone else, need to take responsibility for themselves, for their culture, for the people around them, and to get away from the victim mentality that I think you and I agree has a tendency to really govern a lot of movements on the far left, as well as a number of people, unfortunately, on the far right, where, the only way we are going to solve our problems is if we are the solutions we're looking for. And in that way of thinking, I usually tend to think more market-friendly and I think you and I have agreed many times over the course of many conversations that, we need that, because you need individuals to be able to act out their motives and to find success. And in that sense, I am supportive of capitalism while still opposing the sort of big institutional actors that rob and work with the government in collusion in many ways to depress the people of their wealth.
That's great, man. One thing I do want for you to get into is your book. You talk a lot about culture in your book and how that culture is pretty much the definition of a civilization. Am I right?
You are, and I think what the book really does a good job of explaining is how civil society was intentionally degraded. And I'm thinking of it from this aspect. When things started out where we worked cooperatively within our nation to take care of problems as they arose, whether it would be a church, a community center, charity, however these things happened, and what you find over time is that problems were introduced. And I'll use a modern day example because that will be easiest. Think of how you see all these Muslim migrants being introduced into Europe and how their different culture is basically stressing their welfare state beyond the ability to adapt, and the politically correct culture over there is making it where essentially the governments are choosing the invaders over the people who actually live there. We see this happen again and again where there is an in-group who has power and an out-group is brought in. Whether that group is external or internal to the country, it doesn't really matter. But what's done is a conflict is created so that a government power can be spawned, and as that government power is spawned, it sucks all the money and air and energy out of the room such that people don't have any alternative but to use the government. And it's sort of clever because it works on both the left and right wing. The left wing likes it because they think government should solve the problem. But a lot of times the right wing goes along with it as well, where they're saying, well, I pay taxes for that, so it's not my responsibility. But the problem is, as we watch, is even though we have these political victories and we have these economic victories, I think when we look at how awful Hollywood's behaving this week, it's a perfect example of just how far the culture has gone. How the Marxists control all the education system. They're writing the textbooks. They're teaching the children, and they teach them values such that people are unable to work in groups and in concert, save as approved groups whose basic purpose is to destroy our civil society as we know it. And by that I mean the values that, held us together. Foremost amongst these being family, of course, the relationship between men and women to provide the natural support for children where you don't need a state to solve everything, where you don't necessarily need, public education, and you don't need a huge welfare system. But you see this happen again and again with anything that puts value out. And we've reached a point now in the cultural argument where we've embraced such relativism that it has literally become a form of thought crime to go out there and say something that contests this sort of radically idealistic agenda that any sane person can see has almost no connection to reality.
Now, how did we get here, Tom? I mean, I've always made the assumption that obviously the leftists, specifically the boomer generation, were probably the most politically aware group or generation of a history, if you want my opinion. And at the time, and I've talked about this on my show many times, they were very aware to the point that it was even in their culture. There's a song called 5 to 1 by The Doors in which they describe, that's what they're describing in the title of the song. There were 5 baby boomers to every one person that was older than they. And because they were so aware politically, they were able to not just induce a sex culture, a drug culture, a whole counterculture of what Americana was, but were able to use that as a kind of social lasso, while at the same time utilizing their position of being politically aware to infiltrate the institutions. And that's everything from public education, the psychology industry, you name it. I mean, the government, the judicial branch. I mean, just take a look. I mean, you can't have a divorce because 85% of the time the woman wins the judgment, even if she's out there cheating. 80% of the time the woman gets the children. The women most of the time are protected by domestic violence laws, etc. I mean, women have become a protected class, etc. I understand that all this is happening. Now, as those of us that are just common, regular, everyday folk who are right-wing, who are capitalists, who want to take care of our families, who don't have these really far out there radical collectivist type of political philosophy, and don't mind using yourself, because that's what these people do. The left, because they're godless and because they're atheists, they have no problem sacrificing themselves for this political romantic idea that has been pushed through this secularist rhetoric. Now, how do we counteract that, considering that those of us that are on the right, we are individualists, we're capitalists. We want to either be a part of a corporation where we move up, or a nice company where we move up, or we want to be business owners or independent operators, or whatever the case might be. How can those of us who spend our lives and time and effort and energy doing that combat those that their whole purpose is to infiltrate an institution so that they can curb that institution for a socialist, communist type of policy? I mean, where do we start first from your perspective?
Yeah, that's a big question, but I will offer at least some insights, hopefully, that people will find helpful. And I'll start by saying that they use this idea of the perpetual counterculture to destroy, right? So using your example from the 60s is a good place to start, where you had this sort of nihilistic urge to destroy everything. And the left always likes to present itself as the defenders of the weak. But what they do more than that is they create situations where they encourage weakness because they want that sort of dependency. Sometimes it's called the plantation culture, but they always look to support the out-group against the in-group. And if there isn't an out-group, they'll go and find one. So there's a hint there in what they like to use, because what they've constructed is a situation where they put out there this idea of radical egalitarianism, where they make this proposition that rhetorically, where they're saying, we just want people to be equal and we want people to go ahead and enjoy things. But the problem is that it doesn't work in reason or in fact. Equality is only achievable in one of two states: squalid poverty or death. And so when I think about how I contest that, I always emphasize that we should shift the debate to a different way of talking, which is those of us who are on the right, and I think it works well with capitalists as well, should talk about quality instead of quantity. That we don't aspire to be equal. We aspire to be the best people we can be. And we aspire to seek out the better values and the better life and the more natural life, and use our reason and our intellect and not be cowed into submission. So in terms of how a person does this in their own life, I think the key to it is to seek independence from the system. And having capital is a big step toward that, because then you have the capacity to make choices for yourself. But I think it's also equally as important to go ahead and not subject yourself or your family to the sort of institutions where you're going to be taught terrible ideas. For instance, if you have a family and you can homeschool your children, then you control what they're learning rather than allowing the state to feed them propaganda. And as you gain the ability to do this, and you look at what you're teaching and get the knowledge to compare to what others are being taught, you'll find there's a large community out there of people who are looking to escape this system. And some people have great means and some people have modest means. But what it is are people who've asserted the right for themselves to say, I will speak truth, I will seek out reason, I will use my mind, and I will not be a prisoner to what people say I should or should not be able to say. And whether you have to do that anonymously because you have risks to your, your employment, or whether you're bold enough like I am to go out there and say these things clearly, what we've learned, and what I think honestly President Trump has revealed so tellingly, is Americans are sick of being told what we're allowed to think and that we always have to settle for second best. And we have a very unique moment in our history where we can go ahead and say America can be an exceptional place again, where we seek the best in each of us. And I think when you stop feeling shame and guilt for success, you've made the first biggest step toward having a better life and also breaking away all this guilt that has been wrongly placed upon the American people.
Okay, let me give you another question here. I know we talked about this probably last night, but I want to bring it up for today's discussion because I think everybody needs to hear it. From your perspective, what's more important, culture or economics as it pertains to a civilization?
Right. I personally believe culture matters more, and the reason why I think that is because my own perspective is that the root of civilization is the family. It is the traditional man and woman having children, where you can go ahead and have issue from that. That's to say you can have children, and you go out there, and that provides the original welfare state. That provides the education. That provides the care and concern. And the extended family builds those bonds of trust and import whereby people are able to work one another and have the sort of high trust society that is a necessary prerequisite to whatever sort of economic relationship you want to have, and even more so in a market society. Because if you don't have a foundation, right, if you have children growing up where they have no positive role models, like many of these single mothers or these children who grow up without fathers who have no concept and they're just taught by the state, they won't have the ability to learn the sort of skills for themselves where they can be successful. And while I would agree that people should, and I appreciate that they overcome these things, we look at our society today and we look how many people are just not even aware of basic principles of morality, of economics, of life. They just skirt through life being subsidized and supported. And having a better culture saves so much time, effort, and energy, and also creates something people can aspire to, which is, I think this is the difficult balance, and I suspect where we're going to go with this is there's this balance between the success of the individual and being in a collective where you can succeed. And both of us, I know, want to find where individuals can find that. But I think we both agree the cultural Marxists have done everything they can to suppress the individual and make it where in America we don't functionally have so many of the liberties we used to enjoy.
No, I definitely agree to that. And before I ask you or continue on in this conversation, I just wanted to put out a breaking news report. The financial advisor or economic advisor for Donald Trump, Larry Kudlow, has just suffered a heart attack. He is now in Walter Reed Medical Center being treated for a heart attack. Once again, the economic advisor for Donald Trump, Larry Kudlow, has just suffered a heart attack. Once again, a lot of weird things have been happening as of people just miraculously having heart attacks, being suicided. You can definitely tell that it's election season, to say the least. But let's get back to your conversation, Tom. I'm of the persuasion that it's all about economics. That economics is pretty much the driving force behind social organization. Even Marx said that. Even Marx suggested that it's all about economics. So, in my personal opinion, I think that economics, if the government was out of civilization, and I mean out of public education, out of our lives in any kind of suggestive capacity, and look, I mean, that even goes to the fact that our media is tied into the government. We all know that the mainstream media is nothing more than a propaganda wing for the government. The government tries to suggest to us many different things, how we should be, what type of people we should be, etc. I think if we eliminated those factors and allowed the economics to play itself out, and I know that your position is that people will just become gluttonous and materialist, but I think people become gluttonous and materialist based upon the lack of understanding of what capitalism is. I mean, right when we go into school, we're taught how to be subjects to a certain bureaucracy. We're not taught how to balance checkbooks. We're not taught how to, save money. We're not taught how to invest in stocks. We're not even taught how to pay our own taxes. And these are things that, public education should be focusing on, but don't. Instead, what they do is they treat us, when we're in public education, like prisoners. They treat our children like prisoners. They feed our children like prisoners. They make our children walk in a single file line with their hands behind their back like prisoners. I mean, the whole social construct of public education is based around the prison system. And we wonder why we're having so much warped mental perception from our young people. I think that if we eliminated this altogether, and I talked about this yesterday, and I'd like for you to reiterate, what if we just had government as a referee? Instead of enforcing any kind of cultural ideas, instead of forcing people or a population to think or do anything, just act as a referee and have parents accountable. I mean, this is something that we haven't done in a society, especially one as civil as ours. Hold parents accountable, for their child's actions. Have them pay, in a monetary expense to some capacity. And I think you'll find very, very quickly that we won't have that many single moms if we don't make it monetarily beneficial for them to be single moms. We wouldn't have single-parent families if we didn't have an entitlement system or a government influencing these single-parent families. So in my personal opinion, I think if you just let the economics take its course, that at some point it will automatically put itself into the right framework for which society can take an uphill type of takeoff, as opposed to a stagnant line of nothingness. Your thoughts?
So I agree with you that the government has many perverse incentives, right? We subsidize our worst behaviors, but it's worth asking the question of why we do that, because I think we can both agree pretty quickly that if the government wasn't paying for many bad things, people would behave better. But the book spends a lot of time going into why people were willing to have government pay for those things. And as it works out, I think the key piece of this is that, especially if we're talking from the 60s, that the cultural Marxists went out there and they put out this idea of radical equality, the expectation that all people would be and are functionally equal. Now, that has never been true in history, because to have people be equal, they would have to be the same, and obviously people are manifestly not the same. But starting from this rhetorical point, we've built up basically 50, 60 years of policy where the argument has been made the reason why equality has not been achieved is because of the fact that someone is oppressing someone. And it's this sort of culture of resentment and envy that has generated the political support for the movements that have so perverted our government system into basically enabling people's worst tendencies at the expense of discouraging their best ones. And that's why I always return to culture in this, because when you have people acting based on envy, they will go out there and they will always feel perpetually hurt. And the more people succeed, the more they want to take money from them. And we see that in America today, where basically if you are a contributor, if you are an earner, if you are a producer, you basically are paying the government, either directly or indirectly in many ways, bribes to keep the peace in a way to sort of fulfill this socialist ideal that's out there. And I think that we could move to a different way of thinking about things, where a free market economy would be able to allow for greater choice and liberty. But the problem you run into is that people need to have the awareness and understanding that equality is an unachievable and also, I would argue, a goal you would not want to seek out, because it's something that diminishes the capacity for what people can do. But until we change this obsession with equality, I think we will always be fighting on the back foot. And whatever wins we might have politically or economically, in many ways, we're just setting ourselves up for another situation like Obama, except that all the prosperity that a person like Trump is creating creates a war chest that when the pendulum swings, when, you know, the market inevitably moves a bad way and people not understanding cry out, help us, is a very real danger. I guess I take my view on the thought that most people are not going to understand everything that's happening. And although I wished people were always rational, intelligent actors, the truth is people look for shortcuts, right? I mean, people are lazy, and I think we see that happening more today than we used to, because our technology shields us from the worst consequences of our own idleness. And one of the things that's very tricky about today and why it's been so hard to realize reform is that we don't necessarily live in a totalitarian state, but we live in a state where there are many comforts, you know, whether it be drugs, whether it be medicine, entertainment, psychology, subsidy, whatever you want. The only crimes that ever seem to get prosecuted anymore in this country are political crimes where you say, hey, I want to be able to do something for myself. And I think that's very telling. And I think we've made progress in this fight. But I would argue, and I have argued, that it's not an either-or equation, but I think that if you just left people to their own devices, absent a sort of return to the rule of the wild, what you would find is that people are perpetually susceptible to this idea of, hey, I'm going to give you an easy way. And whether that's, poor people getting food stamps, or whether that's rich people colluding with government to, fix contracts, I think the nature of people is to look out for their self-interest in such a way where they aren't necessarily ethical actors. And the way we sort of constrain that is through having outside actors, which ideally are non-state actors, who go ahead and push for some sort of morality rooted on some other basis that features, industry, dignity, decency, and truth. And we had that, and that was taken from us. And until and unless we have that again, I worry greatly for where our civilization will head and for the long-term ability of the nation to hold together.
Well, that was very insightful there, and I really appreciate you getting everybody insight on what exactly you're going to be finding in the book, your perspective. But I want to get to something else just real quick, because we're seeing history being in the making here. I don't know if everybody is aware, but Donald Trump has just met and shook hands with Kim Jong-un. It looks like a positive meeting at the Korean summit thus far. And, I think we're making history here. They are now sitting down with one another. They're talking. I think that we are possibly going to see the beginnings of the end of an over 70-year conflict out there in the Korean Peninsula. And once again, Donald Trump had to do nothing but the art of the deal. the art of the deal. So congratulations to Donald Trump, and congratulations to America. I mean, and let me go ahead and talk about this relating to what you've been writing about. Let's talk a little bit about Marxism and their use of culture and their use of negativity and their use of chaos as a means of dividing and conquering. Now, is that the sole modus operandi when it comes to this very, very unhealthy and bizarre hatred for Donald Trump? I mean, right now, this man is doing things that presidents have never done before, especially with just a year and a half in the first term of their presidency. I mean, this guy has released 18 prisoners without any concessions whatsoever. This man has literally taken a potential nuclear warfare situation with Kim Jong-un and made it a peaceful situation. What is it that makes liberals and leftists and communists and socialists so vehement and just hateful that it really doesn't matter if they benefit from the person that they hate? Like, I mean, everybody's benefiting. There are more jobs today than there are people looking for jobs in America, and yet they hate this man. I mean, we heard Bill Maher saying he wishes for a recession. What is it from your analysis, from your research, especially relating to the book? I know you cover a big time frame of American history. What is it? What is like the prime modus operandi of these people?
Yeah, I think that there's a couple things. One, I think that they really don't like that he's usurped control, and by him I mean us, really, because it was the American people who rose up to put Donald Trump into power and said that you experts don't have the right to tell us what to do. I think that they're incredibly frustrated that people went ahead and said, we are going to resume taking sovereignty, and we will no longer let you make decisions for us. Because these people do not believe in liberty. They do not believe in individuals making choices for themselves. They believe in rule by experts, they happen to be the experts.
Why is that, though? Why? I mean, why do they have to be told what to do, and why are they fighting to relinquish their own individual choice and decision-making so they can be told what to do? Is it because it's an easier life? Is it because, it's... I've tried to figure out the idea behind this blind leftism. At least back in the 70s, 80s, and 90s, leftism at least appeared for at least those 3 decades to care about the American worker, to care about human rights. The whole liberal shit. They cared about, we shouldn't be doing business with China because they're using slave labor in sweatshops, and, the American worker, $15 an hour. Where did we go from this to all people on the right wing should be killed, that Donald Trump is not a legit president, that we've got to remove him from office, that we got to have revolutions? I mean, it just doesn't make sense. I mean, where did we go wrong? Or was it all a facade? Was it all just political romance? And in the end, this is really the lunacy behind all Marxism, all leftism, all socialism.
Well, let me start by asking a question. Are you thinking more about the leadership or the rank and file?
I'm thinking about the rank and file, because the leadership, obviously, these folks utilize their rhetoric as power. That's what gives them elitism, is the fact that they know about all this Marxist rhetoric, Das Kapital, the Communist Manifesto, and Engels' work, and they can articulate this and, debate with one another to the end of time. I'm talking about rank and file individuals, regular people that are now just completely lost their minds, and that are out here that would rather see this fucking country destroyed than have Trump bring us back from the brink. I don't get it. Go ahead, man. I mean, you've done some research on this.
No, it's... So, all right, so let's pretend you were born in 1990, for an example. You start out and you go to a school system which the Marxists control, right? You have a single parent who probably doesn't watch you very much, odds are, and you're sitting there and you watch TV and you watch all these messages that say, the old way of seeing things as bad, and you see something where, let's say you're a little white kid, just for an example, and you see all these things, you see a program where, oh, whites were bad, and history was bad, and everything was bad. So you go to school, and you go ahead and get indoctrinated for 12 years, where you're listening to hip-hop music, hearing how violence is fine and all these terrible things, and you're going around being taught that up is down and that history's kind of crazy, and you're told that success in life is to care about people and to just be loving, accepting, and tolerant, and then you go to college thinking you're going to get a degree and you're going to be successful in life. So you go through 4 more years of advanced indoctrination where you learn that the only reliable news sources are the New York Times, the Washington Post, and CNN, where you're taught day after day how America is evil, how Obama going on the apology tour is a beautiful thing, and that we need to apologize for all the wrongs we did, which you've studied for 20 years. And how dare someone who hasn't had formal study question you, because they're just ignorant and they don't understand. And every day you get that message reinforced in whether it's the New York Times, whether it's CNN, or let's say you're someone who's just not that involved. Maybe you just watch the local news, or you read the local paper where the same editors, where I think if I remember right, 93% of media in America is controlled by 6 corporations. So what happens is, functionally, people never get exposed to ideas which invalidate their viewpoint. And it requires effort and energy to search out and seek for the truth, because you're given a very happy, comfortable narrative where climate change is the greatest threat to the world, where Donald Trump is a bumbling oaf, and where you're told from the time you're very young the only reason why people have money is not because they worked for it, but because they stole it. And the weirdest, most ironic thing that's true about it is that actually in the case of the liberal rich, in many ways it is true, because a lot of those people just inherited that and they used their networking and connections to have those advantages. Whereas there is a whole other America, you know, the flyover states, as they call them, that exists in a totally different world, like where I live, where people work hard, they bust their asses to make their dollars, and that, you know, they understand the reality of the world. But what we see is an ever-growing bubble, arising mostly in the cities, mostly in the coasts, where people just are not aware of reality because they've been so insulated from it. And in the odd event, if someone starts to question things, a doctor comes in to medicate them, whether it's a kid getting Ritalin or, you know, an adult getting Xanax. It doesn't really matter. So my answer to you is that there are so many ways to withdraw people from having to face things that make them unhappy, and the indoctrination they face for the first 20 to 30 years of their life these days is designed to make them never question the system and that it is their friend. And the moment they start to feel outside of it, there are all these social pressures, which I think social media honestly does in a terrible way, because you get banned from a site, you get shadow banned, you get kicked off Twitter, and you know, we're gabbers, we're out there on the fringe, but realistically, most people aren't willing to deal with that ostracism because, I hate to say it, but somewhere deep in our psyches, that rat brain for most people makes us want to scurry, fit in, and get along. And so long as they can kind of control the means of discussion and culture, where they can impose very real economic penalties like they did on myself, it's going to be very challenging to reach people, because even people who have a glimmer of that world look the other way and say it isn't my problem, so long as they can go through their life comfortably enough. And what we've kind of learned, and this is the surprising thing, is that people, as long as they feel like they have the ability to express something, they will tolerate an incredible lot. I mean, I think that's why you saw the revolutions in Eastern Europe in the 90s, but that you never will see them here with the sort of cultural Marxist approach, because people still feel like they have freedom because they can go out there and bitch. Never mind that they don't have any real political power, and that those debates are sort of constrained to a narrow range of values that Trump has disturbed and upset. Because it used to be, as you said, like with McCain, you had a liberal Republican. You had in Jeb Bush, a liberal Republican, that, you know, they were arguing over little things, but functionally there was no difference. And Trump is something different. He is a capitalist. He is a nationalist. And he is someone who calls out this politically correct culture. And they are scared that he is going to disrupt everything they have done and all the sacred lies of their lives by speaking simple truths. And, people love him for it, but conversely, the people who have built their existence on that lie hate him immensely because it shames them, I think, to think of what they've gone along with. Because on some level, I just have to believe people do know truth from lies if they're willing to think about it. But the sad thing is so many people aren't.
All right. Well, check it out. Do you mind if you take a few calls and I see some people on Gab bitching and moaning about what you're saying here, and I'd love for them to call in and give us some insight on what their perspective is. Do you mind, Tom?
Not at all. I'm happy to offer my opinion.
All right. Anybody who wants to call in right now, go ahead, get to your phone, and go ahead and call up 712-451-0400. The number again is 712-451-0400. And once you hear the broad start talking, it is extension 666287. Okay? Once again, call up the number 712-451-0400, and the extension is 666287. All right, I see a lot of people talking a lot of garbage, and yet I have yet to hear anybody with any kind of substance other than a bunch of leftist autistic screeching out here. So I'd love to hear some of you. If you've got something to say to me, you got something to say to Mr. Kaczynski, then by all means, the lines are open. All right, I can hold up to 1,000 people on this thing. So, I mean, instead of flapping your fat Cheeto-stained fingers on the keyboard, talking a bunch of malarkey, by all means, go give me a call and throw some goddamn substance on the debating table. You know what I mean? Throw some damn substance on the debating table. Well, look, we already got somebody in here. Hey, all right. How about 678? What's up? 678. Are you there?
Hey, Ghost.
Yeah, what's up?
Ghost?
Yeah.
Hello?
Yeah, you're here. What's up, man? 678, you're on the line.
All right, fuck it. I'm just cutting out. Anyway, Trump just shook hands with Little Rocket Man.
Yeah, I know. I just talked about that.
Well, I couldn't catch the stream. Sorry, but it's looking like we might actually.
Shut the fuck up, you stupid fucking idiot! Do you think I give a shit about your commentary, you fucking faggot? I'm asking if you got fucking questions for Mr. Tom Kaczynski over here, and you're giving me your goddamn autistic fucking perspective on life. I don't give a shit. Jesus Christ, shut the fuck up. Sorry, Mr. Kaczynski. You know, we got a lot of idiots here. Let me go ahead and take another one. How about 858? 858, you're on the horn. Oh, Jesus Christ. Here we go with this garbage. All right? And hey, hey, 678, why are you calling back? Why are you calling back?
I got cut off.
Yeah, no, I know you didn't cut off. I cut you off. Get the fuck off. How about that? Jesus Christ. You know what? Sorry about that, Mr. Kaczynski. You would think...
You know, Ghost, I would say to you, this is why I sort of argue that having faith in people too much without a culture to make them behave better causes some issues. Unfortunately, I think we're experiencing it right now, don't you?
So do you think that the reason that these people are acting like half-a-tards is because of culture?
I think they grew up in a society where they're obsessed with getting attention, and I think the reason why half your audience acts autistically, unfortunately, is because they're crying out for attention from the fact they didn't have fathers involved in their life, and I think a lot of them look to you as a father figure, and, you know, they're very lucky to have you at least give them some insight that they never had in their own lives.
I mean, is that really what it all comes down to, Tom? Me and Mrs. Ghost were having a conversation about this past weekend. I mean, are you kidding me? It all comes down to all these little faggots not having a goddamn father. I mean, whatever happened to men just having a pair of cock and balls and just running through life, you know, kicking obstacles' asses, doing whatever it takes to conquer the world, man? Well, what the fuck happened?
So I imagine in your time, your heroes, at least on TV, were people like John Wayne and Clint Eastwood, people who projected a vigorous form of masculinity. And even when I grew up in the 80s, you still had Arnold Schwarzenegger and Sylvester Stallone and people who projected toughness. But, I remember in the 90s and after that, they started having the metrosexuals and the soy boys. And, post-Cold War, you had this whole, how should I say, rampant rampant feminism, where you just had men were supposed to be weak and submissive. And these boys, in a lot of ways, I don't think ever had the opportunity to see what that's like. And they're raging out and they're screeching in many ways because they don't know how. And, you have taught so many of them. And I know it because we both know personal examples of how you've reclaimed some of these people. But honestly, I think that's a huge part of it. There was no masculine role model either in the house or in media. And with the absence of that, I mean, how does a man learn to be a man unless he has someone to look at as a role model?
Man, that is sad. I mean, I talked about this yesterday in the, the True Cat Room. I was watching, and I hate to admit this, a VH1 program called Dr. Jen, in which this broad is supposedly couples counseling a bunch of celebrity or so-called celebrity couples or whatnot. And one of the couples was this guy that was the lead singer to Creed, this fruit bowl. And, he has a decent-looking wife, I mean, he's obviously making a lot of money from that Creed money, and yet this guy's got all kinds of problems. He's got a drug problem, he's got a drinking problem, etc. And one of his problems was he had a dad complex, and one of the, therapeutic exercises was for him to kind of vent his frustration by utilizing, a bat or some kind of a sledgehammer on some hanging piece of wood. And the therapist was like, "Tell your dad what he did to you. Tell your dad, you didn't love me." And he was beating the fucking wood piece, and you didn't protect me, and I needed protection from you, and I needed you to love me. I mean, is this fucking really what it comes down to, Tom? I mean, this is a little obnoxious if this is really what it comes down to.
Well, I think it does, and I think it's not just for men, but I think it's also for women. I mean, if a woman grows up and she doesn't have a strong masculine figure in the house, there's no one to protect her. There's no one to tell her, that she should have worth and to give her the sort of values. And, you see the mothers running around looking for attention, and the daughters end up doing the same thing. So they go ahead and ride the old carousel, and so many of them don't learn self-respect. So when you have families without fathers, there's all sort of toxic consequences that emerge. And unfortunately, I think that is the case. I mean, you just don't have the figure to sort of push through values. All you have is TV and the state. And you and I both know how incredibly corrupt those have been for a very long time. And, with respect to what I talked about in the book, I spent quite a bit of time talking about the 60s and 70s and, the role of the sexual revolution and cheapening sex and putting women to work and teaching people that material status was more important than parenting. And I mean, kids learn that lesson, even if you're someone who goes out there and let's say you have two parents working and, you have a babysitter raising your kids or something, kids are going to learn that lesson very young that I am not important to my parents. And it's just built into the psychology of how we are as people. And I think we have a crisis where we don't have parents engaged in their children's lives, that is frankly facilitated by how much the government does to put men and women against one another, to favor women over men, and to encourage people who shouldn't be having children to have children.
I can agree with that, man. Let me go ahead and get to another caller here. We've got some callers. Hopefully they're not a bunch of, internet cyber vermin, and hopefully they've got some kind of substance to put on the debating table here because, these are serious issues. These are serious topics. And even though these people out here may not be taking it serious, I guarantee you these damn leftists are taking it serious. These leftists are taking it serious. How about area code 302? 302, you're on the air.
Hey, Ghost, how you doing? This is Joe.
What up, man?
Not much. I just had a question for Tom. Like, it seems like every sort of like negative response that comes your way comes from a place of fear on their side. And the question is, like, what are they afraid of? I mean, you seem like someone who's willing to, you know, talk and listen, and like what about that, you know, is threatening to them?
Well, that's a good question, man. Thank you for calling up. What is the problem? Well, what are they fearing?
I think they fear losing control because their whole structure is based upon a lie, right? I mean, we talked a little bit about equality and this idea that everyone has to be considered equal and that we live under this sort of militant tolerance where you're not allowed to make judgments. If people start using their reason and start talking and saying, like, I'll use the example that got me in trouble, saying that Islam is a belief system that does not fit well in the West. Well, if people start to question that, what else might they question? And what I think people don't understand sometimes is that, you know, we look at how big this media apparatus is and this academia apparatus of cultural Marxists, and what is lost sometimes is that it has to be so big and so powerful because every time we debate them honestly and openly, they lose because they can't defend their own positions, which is why we get kicked off Facebook and we get kicked off Twitter and we get kicked off every platform out there. And literally the Marxists have to buy every newspaper and everything out there because they can't win an argument. So now instead of trying to win an argument, they just say, well, he's a bad man. And they slap a label on you and they throw you out into perdition. And they count on that sort of social shame to prevent you from having a real discussion. Because anytime we get the parity, we win. I can kill these people in an argument. Ghost can kill these people in an argument. But they won't have the argument. They say, oh, we don't talk to people like those people. And I think that's the root of their fear. People don't want what they're selling, but they take it because they're not given any other option.
You're absolutely correct. I couldn't agree with you more on that. They cannot debate. I mean, every time that I've debated a liberal and made them look lower than a leprechaun's nutsack, they just had that blank, floor-eyed looking stare, and they kind of, you know, I guess they're getting stage directions in their head, like, exit stage left, and I'm going over here now. I mean, they do not want to debate anybody because they have no substance to their debate. I completely agree with that. Let me take one more call here. How about 505? You there? 505?
Hey, hey, Ghost. You know, I really wish I had a father, and I was wondering, can you please be my dad, Ghost? Please, I need a father. I want my daddy, Ghost, please.
No, well, let's be honest here. Do you really have a father, or is he gone? Is he there?
No, I do have a father.
Oh yeah? Well, then why are you asking me to be your father?
Because I love you.
Okay. So what is your dad like a cuck or something? You know, you let your mom get fucked by other dudes or something, and you don't respect him?
No, he's just in the army.
He's just in the army? He's just, hold on, he's active duty army, and he produced a faggoty ass bunch of shit like you? I mean, I can hear the fruit bowlness in your goddamn windpipe, for Christ's sake. And by the way, there's a little bit of an ethnic twang. There's a little bit.
Let me get another bite of cheeseburger real quick. Hang on.
Yeah. Go ahead. I hear a little bit of an ethnic twang there too. Are you a fucking Mexican? Are you a Mexican?
Maybe.
Yeah. I knew it. That ain't a fucking hamburger. That's a fucking taco.
Oh no.
That's a fucking taco.
I better run away before I get deported.
Yeah, get out of here, you stupid burrito-eating idiot, for Christ's sake. All right, go lick the cheese hole of Pancho Villa, you fucking faggot. I could tell you, I could sniff a Mexican from a mile away. I'm down here in San Hambonio, do you understand? We got a lot of fucking fucked up, smelly-looking Mexicans walking around out here. So don't try to hide your little ethnic twang from me, boy. Anyway, sorry about that, Tom, once again, man. I'm trying to get some decent calls. Unfortunately, I don't know, I got Mexicans now that want me to be their dad or some shit. I don't fucking know. All right, let's try a couple of more here. Let's try. We're gonna get you another call here. How about hey, somebody from Australia? Somebody from Australia calling up.
Hey, g'day, Tom. It's Distillin, mate. I'm in a new line of work now. I'm a certified card reader. I know Ghost's opinion on, the whole autism epidemic and all that bullshit. I'd just like to hear yours.
Well, I personally think it's something that is incredibly overdiagnosed. I think in many cases what is called autism isn't. I agree with Ghost broadly in this sense. I think that we have a tendency to pick traits that we find socially undesirable, like the ability to look at detail and label them in a way that's very negative. I use the example of ADD, which I think is just natural curiosity. And, we tell ourselves we're helpless. And because of that, then we get medicated and, people sort of remove themselves from any sense of responsibility. And I think that's one of the things actually I didn't mention, but I should have. Another reason why what the cultural Marxists offer is so popular is because it takes away any responsibility from the individual. And just like water, people flow to the path of least resistance. I mean, I do think there are some cases, but I think, as with most things, a very few cases are used to justify a lot of people milking it.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that, mate. Well, I won't take up too much of your time, so shout out to Snow White, yourself, and the rest of the Ghost chat and the Inner Circle. They're all good cunts. Take it easy, guys. I'll see you later.
Thank you very much, man. I appreciate it, and we appreciate you calling in. Very good question. Let's take about one more question, and then we're going to go ahead and let Mr. Kaczynski go and, do his own thing because it is kind of getting late here. How about 432? What's up? You're on the air with Mr. Kaczynski.
Oh, shit. Ghost, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, unfortunately, yeah.
This is Superman 1000, calling from Brazil here.
You're calling from Brazil?
What?
You're calling from Brazil? Is that what you said?
Yes.
Okay, what's up from Brazil? What's going on with you out there in Brazil, man? What you got to talk about? What you got to say?
Nothing much. This is my first time calling here, so I'm maybe nervous about asking a question.
All right, go ahead. Go ahead, man. Don't worry about it.
All right. About the baby boom situation going on here. Oh my God, I think about the political stuff in America and with President Donald Trump shaking hands, Kim Jong-un, I think I have a feeling something bad will happen.
You think bad's going to happen?
Yeah, I have a feeling like assassination attempt.
Okay, well, we appreciate you calling. You sound like your proverbial Brazilian trap. So we'll just go ahead and leave it at that. Anyway, Tom, do you want to give us any more last-minute insights, last-minute words, and let us know where you get your book? I'm sorry we couldn't get any more conversations, from call-in people, but, this is the Internet, and for whatever reason, tards like to listen to me for some reason, and I don't get it. So with that being said, the floor is yours, man. Any last words? And let us know a little bit about the book, and let us know where we can get it one more time.
Yeah, thank you, Ghost. I want to say I appreciate you having me on. Appreciate Distilling and his question. And a shout-out, of course, to the Inner Circle, True Capitalist Radio Chat, to, I guess it's CN King's Chat. Congratulations on his rebrand. A good thing there. The book is, someone has to say it, The Hidden History of How America Was Lost. And what it is an introduction to how America got into the situation it's in now. It works really well if you're someone who, I'm guessing, has spent time on dark corners of the Internet underground, maybe on the Chans, Gab, different places, and you've tried to explain how you look at the world to other people, and it won't make sense to them. This book is written to reach normies. It works very well for that. It's available on Amazon in e-format as well as a paperback. If, for some reason, you find yourself wanting an autographed copy, or you want to make a purchase through mail or even crypto, I actually do that as I am an investor in that. Reach out to me at nationalright.us. And I just want to say thank you again for having me on, Ghost. I want to give a great thanks to my wife, Dana, who many of you know as Snow White and a member of the Inner Circle in her own right, for standing with me. And just to let people know, you know, you can fight against the people who are out there who say you have to accept mediocrity. And you should always look for the best in every group you're in as an individual and to try to improve your life and to say thank you to you, Ghost, not just for the opportunity, but for the time, effort, and tremendous energy you put into reaching all these people and for our friendship as well. So thank you very much, sir.
Hey, thank you very much, Tom. I really appreciate it. Thank you for giving us the interview. Thank you for being a part of the Inner Circle, and thank you for being a part of the show, sir.
Thank you very much. Have a good evening.
You too, man. Thank you very much. And that, my friends, was Tom Kaczynski. Once again, the book is out there on Amazon.com, or you can go to nationalright.us and be able to get yourself an autographed copy or pay through crypto or whatever the case might be. Folks, we are now like 10 minutes in the final hour of the True Capitalist Radio broadcast. And, of course, I am your host, the man they call Ghost. And once again, I want to thank everybody for tuning in with me. If I could ask you, please, spread this show link around like wildfire, okay? And let everybody know that True Capitalist Radio is in effect and in the house, and we are live every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 6:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, right here on the official website of the True Capitalist Radio broadcast, and it is Ghost.report. All right, that's what you type in your browser, add to your bookmarks, to your favorites. Ghost.report is the official website of the True Capitalist Radio broadcast. And by the way, if you want to be a part of the True Capitalist Radio chat room, okay? If you want to be a part of the True Capitalist Radio chat room, all you've got to do is go to my Gab account right now, and you can get there by typing in Gab. In your browser, gab.ai is the official website to Gab, gab.ai, and you can follow me on there under the name Politics Ghost, all right? All one word, no underscores. Politics Ghost is the name to follow, okay? And by the way, if you have not done so, and by the way, this is how we're going to get more radio graffiti going on, okay? Because obviously, nobody's doing shit about the cryptocurrency wishing well. Obviously, there's very few of you out there that are investing in cryptocurrency, or at least those that are investing probably don't want radio graffiti. So look, right now, we've got about 102 subscribers right now. 102 subscribers on the premium subscription on my Gab. And that, of course, gives you access to the True Capitalist Radio chat room. All right? If we can get another, let me see, there's 102. If we can get to 110, if we can get to 110 here by 9 o'clock, if we can get to 110, we're at 102 subscribers. If we can get to 110 subscribers, we'll go ahead and have some radio graffiti, all right? We'll go ahead and have some fucking radio graffiti. How you like that? All right? Because it's obvious you goddamn sons of bitches are not going to, you're not going to hook it up with the goddamn cryptocurrency wishing well. I mean, you know what I mean? It just is too, you know, you're not going to do it. All right? You're not going to do it. So the bottom line is we need to get some more peeps into the subscription. And how do you get a subscription? What do? You go to my Gab account right now, Politics Ghost, all one word, no underscores, Politics Ghost, and you hit the subscribe button for premium content. All right, boy? You hit the subscribe button for premium content, and once you do, hit me up with a private message on Gab and let me know your Discord chat name, or if you're one of the tards that got ran off of the chat room, because the chat room is rather brutal. I'm looking at the chat room now. I mean, I understand why people are leaving, all right? Hey, look, just We need subscribers, baby, all right? You have to understand, I don't get paid to do this fucking broadcast, man. I don't get paid to do this damn broadcast. So, how about a little something, You want me to bring back Radio Graffiti? How about a little something, you know what I'm saying, for the effort? You know what I'm saying? Go to my Gab account right now. Once again, Politics Ghost, and hit the subscribe button for premium content, all right? Hit the fucking subscribe button, all right? Come on, man! If y'all want Radio Graffiti, y'all go do it. If not, well, then it's no skin off my sack, all right? Anyway, since we skipped a little bit of some chat room and Gab shoutouts, let's go ahead and get to it while everybody is subscribing, all right? Has anybody subscribed yet, engineer? All right, well, nobody has subscribed yet. Once again, we want to get to 110 subscribers, and then, we'll have Radio Graffiti for the rest of the week. We'll have Radio Graffiti the rest of the damn week. I mean, that's just the way it is, man. We have to do, man. That's all there is to it. Anyway, let's get to some Gab shout-outs first, okay? For all you folks that want some Gab shout-outs, all you have to do is go to my Gab account right now and like the first post on my Gab account, the post that states True Capitalist Radio is now live. Listen in. Once again, all you have to do is like the first post on my Gab account, and that is True Capitalist Radio now live. Listen in. Once you like that particular post on my Gab account, I will give you a Gab shout out live right here on the broadcast, right here and now. Do we got any Gab shout outs, engineer? All right, well, without any further ado, let's just go ahead and get to some Gab shout outs right now. We got Blackberry in the house. We've got kosher cupcakes for the wishing tub. Fuck you with the wishing tub. Pause me with your Penix. Hey, look, don't talk about Penix 2.0, all right? Let's not talk about that, all right? Dr. Keckle and my sides? Dr. Keckle and my sides? Give me a freaking break, man. All soy, no boy... Wait, hold on. All soy, no boy makes ghost a good goy. Fuck you, you fucking idiot, man. You stupid dumbass. Singapore Butterball Summit. 7 years waste of time. Shut up. It's 10 years, boy. I've been on the air for 10 years. Don't you ever forget it. Tip the Jew and make Radio Graffiti. Look, shut up. There's nothing Jew about it, man. I mean, how about a little something for the fucking effort, for Christ's sake? I mean, I'm giving you my fucking energy, man. I'm giving you everything. You want me to just accept fucking Radio Graffiti and what? No, there's not going to be, nothing for the effort? Go fuck yourself, man. I'm not going to just do this for myself for no freaking reason. Listen to you freaking morons. Jesus Christ. Who else do we have here? Tip the Jew to continue. Look, shut the fuck up, all right? I mean, I'm just talking about a little something for the effort out here, right? You idiots don't get it, for Christ's sake, man. All right, you idiots don't freaking get it. You people are idiots. Jesus Christ. We got Lakeem Kadora. We got Christian Melian. We've got Sorry No Tortilla. All right. We've got LGBT Trump. Shut the fuck up. All right. We've got Kim Chad-un versus Donald Cuck. Man, shut up. Don't be disrespecting my president like that, you piece of crap. All right. Who else do we have here? We've got Reservation in Hell for Bourdain. Oh, man, that's rough, man. All right, he did disrespect Donald Trump, so he kind of deserved it. Replace Radio Graffiti with Tom Hour. Shut the fuck up. None of you people were even listening to that intelligent man. He was articulating all kinds of grievances, and you idiots weren't even listening. You couldn't even call up and give some decent substance so that you could... just shut up, all right? Just shut your mouth. 10 bureaucratic years, whatever the hell that means. We've got a ham bones meeting in Singapore. Shut the fuck up with this garbage, all right? We got Derby 378 in the house. We've got Ghost Gets Drunk on Balmain's League Club. What the fuck does that mean? What the hell is that supposed to mean? Great show today, mate. Hey, thanks, man. I appreciate it. Who else do we have? Despacito 2 confirmed. What the hell does that mean? That other song by Justin Bieber and those Latins? Jesus Christ. I mean, E3 is more important than an old coot reading Drudge? Oh, yeah? Oh, E3, huh? Yeah, you know what you're doing? You're overpaying for a bunch of games that you own no rights to, and all you're doing is wasting your fat jelly-ass time away. You know that? You're wasting your fat jelly-ass time away. That's what you're doing. So don't give me that crap, all right? That I'm not here, I'm at E3, better and drudge. And by the way, we're getting no subscriptions, man, so it looks like no Radio Graffiti. So that means I could probably just shut down the damn... I think I'm going to shut down the freaking show early. How you like that? How you like that? Looks like none of you damn autists, y'all don't want Radio Graffiti no more, huh? Y'all don't want Radio Graffiti no more? Oh. Jesus Christ. I'll tell you what, okay? I'll tell you what. All right, look, I'll make a deal with you tards, okay? Because I know what you tards. You're intimidated to go into the True Capitalist Radio chat room. You know, we got a lot of tard wranglers in there, and, you know, unfortunately, a lot of people have, you know, taken pitchforks and, you know, they've gotten their torches out, and they went tard hunting. And, you know, unfortunately, a lot of tards ran away voluntarily from the chat room because, you know, not too many people in the chat room like tards. You know, that's why, you know, tard wrangler. You know, tards and shit, you know. I'm going to go ahead and say this. If you subscribe right now, okay, and you're a tard, like, you know, you're like one of these, I like to write nice stories. I like to write nice story about a continent and diapers and pampers and ponies. If you're one of these idiots, I like watching anime. I got a waifu, and these assholes, okay? I will make your own chat room, okay? How about that? I will make your own tard chat room, and I'll make sure that the mods are tards themselves, so that you don't get run off, because I know that's really what's happening. We got a lot of people in the True Capitalist Radio chat room that ran off a bunch of tards, at least a good, I would say, 30 of them, all right? At least a good 30 of them, for Christ's sake, and that's, you know, that's all I'm saying. So listen, you subscribe, and you like Radio Graffiti, and you're like an anime lover, or you're you know, whatever. All right? We'll go ahead and hook it up. All right. Now that we got that all out of the way, let's just move on, all right? Oh, look. Oh, now they're subscribing. Oh, now they're subscribing. Now they're subscribed. Who was the first person that just subscribed? Grab Trump by the pussy. Just subscribed. Oh, Jesus Christ. Now they're subscribing. How quaint. Now they're like, yeah, we're going to have our own chat room, and we're going to be able to post anime, and there's nothing they can do about it. Yeah. Oh, my God. I cannot believe this. I don't know. Maybe, you know, I don't know. Maybe I'm biting off more than I can chew on this one, all right? Maybe I'm biting off more than I can chew, for heaven's sake. Now they're subscribing. There's another one. Now they're subscribing because now they're realizing, oh my God, I'm going to get my own chat room. We're going to be like, yay, yay. And look, I've got fucking people already. Hey, can I be the admin of the hentai porn chat room that you're about to make? I'm not going to fucking make a hentai porn chat room. All right, I'm not doing that. All right, I'm just giving. I'm negotiating with you tards here. Right? Y'all want Radio Graffiti? I don't like Radio Graffiti, so I'm saying, you know, we get a couple more subscriptions out here. We're in the money. All right, I mean, we can do this. It'll give me financial incentive to do it. All right, I'll be financially compensated to do it. And what the hell is this? Ghost report in a nutshell? Go fuck yourself. Look at my Gab. Look at what they're posting on Gab, for Christ's sake. Go shove it up your ass. Oldcoot.com. Go shove it up your ass, all right? Go shove it up your ass. A ghost.report is serious goddamn business. Do you understand that? It's serious goddamn business over here. Oh, my God. Ghost's wishing tub. Listen, unless we get a couple more subscribers, look, we got 5 minutes. We get a couple more subscribers, or I'm just going to quit the show, and we'll try to get Radio Graffiti on Wednesday, because it seems like nobody wants it. Nobody wants it. They're just acting like a bunch of tards out here. And like, yeah, I want to act like a tard. I'm just going to do this, and I want to post this, and yay! Jesus Christ. Hey, look, Grab Trump by the pussy wants to be in the regular chat room. All right, I'll give you. He wants to be in the regular chat room now. So I guess we got to give this guy the regular chat room. Anyway, you got to give me a DM if you want to be in the regular chat room, so I can DM you the goddamn link. All right, so make sure to give me a DM and say, hey, what's the link to the regular TCR chat room, and I'll give you the link. All right. All right, nobody's subscribing. Nobody's subscribing. We got 4 minutes left, and if we don't have at least 2 subscribers in 4 minutes, I'm out of here. Okay? I'm serious. I'll still give you the invite, though. Grab Trump by the pussy. Real funny. But, 2 more subscribers, or we're out of here. I'm out. I'm going to do I'm 30 minutes early, baby. It's Monday. It's a shitty-ass carpet-munching Monday as it is. And I'm really embarrassed that we had somebody like Tom Kaczynski on, giving intellectual substance on the debating table. And whenever I put in a goddamn request for people to call in, I mean, this is this is the kind of crap that I get. This is the kind of garbage I get. I get a bunch of tards. I get a bunch of people talking garbage. And I'm tired of it. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it, and I'm tired of it. Jesus Christ, man. Just a little something for the effort, for Christ. Just a little something for the fucking effort! Jesus Christ, man. All right. Jewing Up Radio Graffiti. That's another subscriber. Jewing Up Radio Graffiti. Hey, assholes, I don't get paid for this fucking broadcast, you losers! I don't get paid for this broadcast anymore, you jerk! I mean, don't you understand it? Don't you people understand that shit? I mean, seriously, man, I do not get paid for this broadcast anymore. And it's kind of hard to have, some kind of ambition to do this goddamn Radio Graffiti horse shit when, you used to get paid $4,000 a month for it, and now you don't get paid dick. As a matter of fact, I'm out of money because I had to put up for all this equipment and all this goddamn streaming bullshit and all this crap. So I'm just saying, how about a little something for the fucking effort instead of being a bunch of pricks all the time? How about that? How about that, goddamn autist? How about a little bit of appreciation? How about a little bit of appreciation? For 10 fucking years I've been doing this shit. Just a little fucking appreciation. But, Jesus Christ, man. All right, we got somebody else to subscribe. All right, good. What? All right. Somebody saved your day. Somebody saved your day. And somebody's asking me if I accept Dogecoin. No, your mother accepts Dogecoin to lick the bacon bits out of your ass crack. That's what she accepts Dogecoin for, boy. Jesus Christ. And shut up, you people trying to get me to drink. Shut the fuck up. I'm not going to drink. That's fucking wrong of you people to do, and I can't believe you're doing it. All right, so look. It's going to be 9. A couple of people did subscribe. So since we did have a couple of people to subscribe, I'm going to have a couple of calls of Radio Graffiti, all right? I'm going to have a couple of calls of Radio Graffiti, okay? And how do you call for Radio Graffiti? Well, you better get on your fucking phone right now, okay? You better get on the phone right now and dial in right now, 712-451-0400, and then you push in the extension 666287. All right, you want to participate in Radio Graffiti? You better step your game up and step your chain up, boy. The dial-in number is 712-451-0400. The extension 666287. All right? Now that we're waiting for some goddamn Radio Graffiti calls in here, let me see what else we have here. Let's see what else we got going on. All right? All right, and hey, the guys that just entered into the subscription, hey, everybody who's going to listen to Radio Graffiti right now needs to thank you guys. All right, they need to thank you guys for bringing in and bringing back Radio Graffiti right now, and we're only going to do it for a temporary time. So, by God, if you're going to fucking call, you better call right now. You better call right goddamn now. You better call right goddamn now. 712-451-0400. All right? And you can dial in the extension 666287, and you'll get your ass on some Radio Graffiti right now, all right? Jesus, I'm fucking done with my Coca-Cola over here. Jesus Christ. Freaking. I do wish I have a beer. I want to be honest with you. I wish I had a damn beer. But, you know how it is. You just have to do what you got to do. You just got to do what you got to do. All right. Hey, engineer, do we have any Radio Graffiti calls to be had out here? All right. Well, without any further ado, folks, let's go ahead and get to some Radio Graffiti calls right now. Woo! All right, who do we got here? How about 903, or excuse me, 858 Radio Graffiti, 858.
Cowboys in the showers at Ram Ranch.
All right, we get it. Ram Ranch, very funny, you jerk dick. Real funny. Shut up. Shut him up. We get it. You know, Ram Ranch. Hey, Ram Ranch. You Ram Ranch. Stupid idiot. 903 Radio Graffiti.
Ghost, I passed by that Rick and Morty mobile that's been touring through America, and instead of winding up with all the other guys for their cheap plastic crap, I took the $100 that was in my wallet and bought more Quantum. I'm sitting on 48 right now, and I want more.
Hey, that's good, man. I don't blame you. It's a good long-term investment. And just wait till Quantum is up to about $400 or $500, and you'll be thanking me in the future, man. You'll be thanking me, to say the least. All right. How about 317 Radio Graffiti?
Fuck you.
Oh, that's it? That's all you got, for Christ's sake? What a loser. How about 336 Radio Graffiti?
The only goddamn good nigger is a goddamn dead nigger. I'm not kidding around, boy. You understand? Capitalism is serious business, and we hate niggers. Do you understand that, you piece of crap? We hate niggers. Goddamn nigger. Goddamn nigger. Goddamn nigger. Goddamn nigger.
Shut that shit up! Shut it up! Shut that fucking shit up, for Christ's sake! Damn it! For Christ's sake, man! I never said that shit! I never said that fucking shit! That was a splice and everybody knows it! That's a fucking splice and everybody knows it! For Christ's sake, man! Now I got a fucking mess in this joint, huh? Now I got a fucking mess! It's fucking tough, man! You see, This is why I got to get at least a little bit of something, you know, a little bit of something for the appreciation for doing this shit. I'm not joking, man. That's why I'm not joking, man. All right. And people are asking, can I still donate to the cryptocurrency wishing? Well, yeah, it'll still count, all right? I keep up to date with that, all right? Once again, you want to be a part of Radio Graffiti right now, call in 712-451-0400. The extension is 666-287. All right? Call up if you want to be a part of Radio Graffiti, for Christ's sake, all right? Who the hell else do we got going on over here? We got, how about 515 Radio Graffiti?
Hey, guys. You there?
What's up?
Hey, thanks for taking my call, man. I just want to say thank you for everything you're doing, and you inspired me to be a capitalist of my own right now. In my mid-20s, and I had epilepsy, and was looking down on life, but your broadcast has got me in crypto just this past week now, and things looking up.
Hey, man, that's good to hear, man. I mean, let me tell you, nothing can limit you other than you. Always remember that. Nothing can limit you other than you, man. So keep on looking forward, keep on trucking, and keep on capitalizing, baby. That's what us capitalists do against all odds, against all goddamn odds. All right, who else do we got? Is there nobody that wants to call for Radio Graffiti now? Is everybody not wanting to call Radio Graffiti? I don't want to call Radio Graffiti because I can't, like, call up with all the numbers and then just, my name is Cleveland Brown. Hey, hey, ho. My name is Cleveland Brown. Hi, y'all. Stupid shit. Oh, you can't do that anymore, can you, boy? You can't do that anymore, can't you, boy? How about 505 Radio Graffiti?
Hey, Ghosty. Hey, Ghosty, why don't you come over to the Crypto Wishing Tub and you can stick your Jew groin in 42 coin.
No, it's this Mexican again, for Christ's sake. Get the hell out of here. Go chew on a rubber tortilla. I want to make sure that son of a bitch is legal. I should have kept his number, and I should have forwarded to ICE to make sure if he's legal or his grandma's legal. I'm not joking around. You got to go back. Do you understand me? You got to go back. I don't care how good you make tamales. You got to go back. Get the hell out of here. You got to go back. All right, who the hell else do we got here? We got somebody from Australia, Radio Graffiti.
Hey, Ghost, what's going on, folks?
What's going on, man?
Hey, man, it's I just want to thank Tom. That was a great interview. I'm definitely thinking about picking up his book. I also wanted to ask, this may be a little bit off timing, but I wanted to ask, what sort of time did you think those sort of systems he was talking about were put into place? You know, those sort of bureaucratic sort of systems where, you know, people were kind of left to, you know, be subdued.
Well, they all started, you know, from my personal opinion, in the mainstream at around the baby boomer era, around the 60s. I mean, it was started, at least on the cultural Marxist end of it, at the turn of the 20th century in Frankfurt, Germany. Frankfurt, Germany was the epicenter of the cultural Marxist movement, in which they figured out that they would need cultural Marxism in order to fully implement the communist nation state, meaning that they were going to utilize men against women, black against white, gay against straight, any kind of divisive measure necessary to be able to take over a geopolitical area, and that's what they've done. And, you know, you take a look at what the baby boomers did. I mean, these guys were all about, you know, leftism, the sexual revolution, the drug culture, all that shit. So, anyway, let's continue going. Good question, by the way. How about 336 Radio Graffiti?
The goddamn niggers are the scum of the earth, and I want every single one of them in my chat gone. Damn right.
Kill niggers.
We got to kill black niggers. Kill niggers. Kill niggers.
Shut up. Shut up with that racist shit, man. Good God. Is that all you got? Is that all you got? Jesus Christ. How about 432 Radio Graffiti? Hey, 432, what are you going to do? What the hell is it? Get this. All right, great. You're playing with your pecker shaft, all right? Great. Jesus Christ. Who the hell else do we have here? How about, I don't know, somebody from out of the country, Radio Graffiti.
Hey, Ghost, I got some Dogecoin here. Can I toss it into your wishing toilet?
No, get this idiot out of here, for Christ's sake. You know, you could toss it in your mom's twat, for Christ's sake, all right? She's used to doing the old donkey show, all right? Jesus Christ. Who else do we have here? We got, how about Australia, Radio Graffiti?
Ghost, I think you unmuted me again, man. I'm still on the line. Just listening.
Are you just listening to the show?
Yeah, just listening, man. It's easier than my crappy internet. Sorry about that, man.
All right, no problem, man. No problem. Who else do we have here? How about, let's see, who the hell else we got? How about 317 Radio Graffiti?
I think we should take all that Dogecoin, put it in a fucking rocket ship, launch it into a black hole. Hell yeah.
What the fuck is that? What the hell is that supposed to mean? What the hell is that supposed to mean? Oh, Jesus Christ, man. 432 Radio fucking Graffiti. We can't even hear you. You got an Obama phone and you suck. All right? You've got an Obama phone and you suck. Jesus Christ. Who else do we have here? How about somebody who's anonymous? Anonymous Radio Graffiti.
Let me get my freaking gun. Let me get my freaking gun out of here, for Christ's sake.
What is your major malfunction, numbnut? Didn't Mommy and Daddy show you enough attention when you were a child?
What the hell was that supposed to be? Serious, what the fuck was that? What kind of cheeseball shit was that? Good God. We got somebody named Tyron, Radio Graffiti.
What I am is I am a racist, okay? I mean, I actually go on the black streams on Twitch and on YouTube and pay $5 just to say the word nigger. Remember when we used to be able to say nigger and it really didn't matter? So I said nigger. I'm a melting pot of racist, man. I'm a nice racist.
Shut that shit up, man.
Damn it, man.
Shut it up. Shut that fucking shit up. Damn it! Stop it with that racist shit, man! Stop it! Just stop it now! Jesus Christ! What's up with all this fucking racist garbage, man? I mean, is that what you all have a fetish for? Huh? Is that all you have the fetish for Christ's sake? Good God! And what the fuck is this? Who is this? Who the hell is this? What the hell is this? Is this a joke? Nigerian Prince, Radio Graffiti? Hey, Nigerian Prince, are you there or what? Hey, Nigerian Prince, you're on the air, you faggot! Yeah, you're playing with your goddamn Wii, for heaven's sake. Get this idiot out. Get his AIDS-infected ass out of here. Anyway, folks, that's about it. It's the same freaking two idiots. The Mexican from 505 and the idiot with the Obama phone from 432. And that's all we've got, folks. All right? That's all we've got. And you know what? I think that's we're going to go ahead and end it 15 minutes early, okay? That's what we're going to do. We're going to end it 15 minutes early. And I will be back this Wednesday, 6:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, right here on the official website of the True Capitalist Radio broadcast, and it is ghost.report, all right? Ghost.report. Type that in your browser, add that to your bookmarks, add that to your favorites, okay? Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the hell out of here, and if you guys want this Radio Graffiti to continue going, well, then, hopefully, you can either contribute to the cryptocurrency wishing well, and it's not a fucking wishing tub. Either, hook it up in the cryptocurrency wishing well, or subscribe, baby. Subscribe to the subscription-based Gab. You can get to my Gab right now at Politics Ghost. And if you want to help contribute and continue the sustenance of Radio Graffiti, then subscribe. Hit the subscribe for premium content. Hit the subscribe for premium content, and once you do, private message me with your Discord chat name, and I will give you a, I will hook you up. All right? I will hook you up. Anyway, with that being said, folks, I will be back here on Wednesday, 6:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, live. And I think I'm going to do something either on Wednesday or Friday. I might do something on both days. Y'all remember when I called the dating website? I'm thinking about doing that on Friday, but I definitely want to do something on Wednesday. So, let me figure out. Maybe we could do like another internet scavenger hunt. Maybe we can have impromptu autistic game show. Yeah, you know what? That's what we'll do. We'll play Autistic Jeopardy. We'll get some autists. We'll put them on the horn. We'll ask them some questions. So if you want to play Autistic Jeopardy on Wednesday and you happen to be an autist, well, then get back to me. Holler at me, all right? Get back to me on Gab, Politics Ghost, and you want to be an autist and you want to play Autistic Jeopardy, by all means, go ahead and hook me up with a message, and I'll be more than happy to, have you as a contestant on Autistic Jeopardy. And what will you win? What will be the winning prize, engineer? That's right, cryptocurrency. Cryptocurrency, baby. So if you happen to be an autist and you want to play Autistic Jeopardy on Wednesday, let me know. Let me know prior to the show on Wednesday, 6:30 p.m. We'll go ahead and patch you into the show, and we'll ask you all kinds of questions because it will be Autistic Jeopardy. Now, before I go, I do want to bring in somebody who has something to tell each and every one of you, and I'm talking about none other than Satan. Satan has a few words, so without any further ado, Satan, do you want to go ahead and say something to the people?
Yes, I actually do. All you people out there that think that you know the devil, that you think that you know who I am, you don't. You all worship me through your vanity. You all worship me through your fame. And I don't even have to give you anything for it. I mean, don't you understand? I don't need anything from you to give me your soul. You're voluntarily giving me your soul by being godless, by being a communist, by being an atheist. You keep on with your little vanity. You keep on with your little video games. You keep on with your little self-sustenance, with your little man-child. You keep going and amusing yourself. You keep going and doing what feels good. You keep doing what you think is the right thing to do. Because what you think is the right thing to do is actually what I want all of you to do. Do you understand me? Do you understand that each and every one of you are selling me your soul? You're selling me your soul without me having to offer you anything. All you want is fame. All you want is attention. All you want is vanity. And all those things don't cost the devil nothing. Look around you. I'm in control of this society. Look at the women turning to men. Look at the men turning to women. Look at the pansexual, sexual, androgynous. They're all soulless. They're all soulless. That's why when you look into their eyes, you see nothing but a blank, four-eyed stare. Because I am in control of their souls. And you all need to realize that unless you are going to combat me with some legitimate form of spirituality, I will continue to reign supreme on this earth. That's why all the leaders, all the godless leaders worship me. All the childless, godless leaders in the EU worship me. All the leaders in the communist idea, the communist globalist idea worship me. And you know something? One day you will all worship me. And you want to know why? Because you're all attention whores. Isn't that right, Mr. Autistic Man-Child? You're an attention whore. And that's what I want from you all. I want you all to be attention whores. I want you all to be vain. I want you all to be envious. I want you all to be nothing at all. So you can be on your knees begging me for everything you wish you had. Begging me for everything you wish you were. Now I have to go now, because I am busy taking souls from the earth. And maybe, just maybe, yours is next.
All right, now that we got that all out of the way, Satan has said his piece. Hopefully you've gotten some philosophy, you got something out of that. Anyway, with that being said, folks, I'm getting the hell out of here, okay? If you want Radio Graffiti to continue, like I said, folks, please subscribe. All right, go to my Gab account right now, gab.ai, and my Gab account is Politics Ghost, all one word, no underscores, Politics Ghost, and hit the subscribe button for premium content, all right? Hit the subscribe button for premium content and what you do. And when you do, go ahead and give me a private message on my Gab account, all right? And I will give you an invitation to the True Capitalist Army chat room so you can chill with us. I will be in the True Capitalist Radio chat room here in about 20 or 30 minutes. So come on down if you want to come kick back with us, chill with us. You know what time it is, baby. Anyway, I will be here live, all right? I will be here live this Wednesday, all right, 6:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, okay? So make sure everybody's in here Wednesday. And, oh, yeah, by the way, folks, there is a run on Ethereum Classic right now, ETC. Coinbase has just added ETC to its repertoire of coins. So once again, ETC, there is a run right now on Ethereum Classic. You're fucking welcome. You want to know why? Because making money is what we do, baby, all right? Anyway, I'm getting the hell out of here. Cheers, baby. You better be here 6:30 p.m. Central Standard Time this Wednesday, and it'll be back to normal. We are going to have Autistic Jeopardy, so if you happen to be an autist and you want to make some extra crypto, let me know on Gab that you want to participate in the cryptocurrency Autistic Jeopardy game that we will have on Wednesday, 6:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. Anyway, folks, I am out of here. Thank you all for tuning in with me on this Monday. And I will see you on Wednesday, 6:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. I'm getting the hell out of here. Always remember, folks, always remember, death to feminism, death to socialism, and death to communism. Don't you ever forget it. Give me capitalism or give me death. Give me capitalism or give me death. Do you understand? Capitalism to the soul, to the bullet hole. You better goddamn believe it. I'm getting out of here. You better be here Wednesday, 6:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, and let everybody know about the True Capitalist Radio Show. Let everybody know about the True Capitalist Radio Show. I'm getting the hell out of here. Jesus Christ. And by the way, death to communism.
And there you have it, folks. That was True Capitalist Radio, episode number 578. Right here, railing on the Capitalist King Network. Yes, guys, you have listened and watched, and I do hope you enjoyed tonight's broadcast. And, of course, shout out to Tom Kaniski, if I can pronounce that right, for the interview. That was a good interview, man. Good interview, Tom. Thank you for that. And thank you, everybody, once again, for listening in. I want to give some shout-outs to the people who are listening in on the TCR Discord chat. And, of course, people over at the other chat rooms that are listening to this. And, of course, the people in the live chat room. And I do apologize for anything background going on. And there's noise, of course. I got my little brother out there actually watching on the living room with the, I don't know why he had that volume up with the TV, so please excuse that. So I'm going to give some shout outs here on the YouTube here momentarily, but before that, let me put some inputs. If you're a new viewer or are a new listener to the True Capitalist Radio, why not subscribe to this channel, as I do the TCR shows live every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 6:30 p.m. Central, 7:30 p.m. Eastern, 4:30 p.m. Pacific, and also we do occasionally do the spontaneous ones if Ghost does one. And of course I do some live game shows on my own, so of course if you want to see those, of course just make sure to hit. But mostly you're all here for the relays for the TCR shows, so do make sure to subscribe if you're new, and of course do make sure to click that bell if you want to be notified for the next TCR show to happen when it happens live. Alright, so, and of course, speaking of which, make sure if you haven't, subscribe to Ghost over to his Gab account. Yes, Ghost is Politics Ghost is his Gab. Yes, gab.ai/Politics Ghost. If you subscribe to him, you'll be specially invited to a very special invitation to the TCR Discord chat. And of course, that Discord chat is a very special chat room that of course Ghost does occasionally come in, and you know, we all go in, listen, and we all speak to one another. So of course, if you want to join up with us, just make sure to subscribe to Ghost, and do make sure, if we do, DM your Discord name to him, and he'll send back the Discord invite, and it's a one-time use. And do make sure you do redeem it once you receive it, and you're instantly in to the Discord chat room. So hopefully we'll see you guys there, but until then, that's pretty much it. Anyways, let's move on for the YouTube live chat room shout out. So of course, this is the part where I give everybody a live shout out on the YouTube live stream. And of course, before I actually go on that, let me give some special shout outs to people who recently are new subscribers during the broadcast. And of course, these people are just people who just recently subscribed during whatever hour just happened. So I'm going to give shout outs to Tony Bastard 88 and Jackson Marshall Official. Thank you guys for subscribing. I hope you enjoyed tonight's broadcast, and of course you enjoyed tonight's show. And thank you, Ghost, once again for the show. Alright, and no tipper, so we just move on for the regular shout outs. So if you want a regular YouTube live chat room shout out, all you have to do is say something on the live chat room right now, and of course I'll be opening up the participant list, naming it from A to Z alphabetically, and hopefully, well, shout out your name once I say it out loud. So I'll give names now. So if you want to shout out, just say right now in the live chat room, and I'll do it right now. So what's going on to Aaron Tumon? Blackout Worm, The Truth is Stranger Than Fiction. Bloodbath's in the place. Going on to Daryl Letts, Dave, Derby 378, Frankie Mankey. What's going on to Frankie Mankey? Nova Note Neko 87, Richard is it Macano? Yeah, Richard Macano. It's going on to Rick Hoover, Ron Livingstone, Superman 1000 BR, and the Lucondrix. You know what I'm saying that? It says Lucondrix. Lucondrix. Yay. And that's pretty much it. Also, yes, we got one coming in. It's Willamado Nut. Yes, Willamado Nut is in the place. Going on to Willamado Nut. Yes, and Ron Livingstone. It's going to Ron Livingstone, Bloodbath. Yes, Bloodbath. Oh, yes. And, who else? I think I'll scroll up here because, alright, that's everybody on the participant list. Once again, if you want a YouTube live chat room shout out, all you to do is say something right now. If not, then I'll see you on next stream because, of course, we do the relays each and every time goes live. So, who do you have? I'm looking, scrolling up here, who I missed here. It's going on to, who else do we have here? There is no nuclear annihilation without creation was here. And Fluttermark 2020, yes, Fluttermark 2020, Piranha PJP was here. Mossman 180 was here. Rick Hoover was, actually, I already said his name. Soldier Sigma 507. Who else we have here? Mr. Zayas. Oh, speaking of Mr. Zayas, we got Zcash Classic is actually on the run, so might as well get onto it. Well, actually, got some good holds, so it's I'm actually getting some money in. Oh yeah. Alright, so Zcash Classic. That's a good. What's going on at 8? Yeah, it's going on at 8. Silver Wisps 94, what's going on, man? Sneakiest Chameleon. Who else we have here? Once again, I'm taking some YouTube chat room and live feed. Of course, if you're listening in this on the archives, and of course it doesn't count, but shout out to you. Thank you for listening in at this very, very late hour, or of course at this part. And I guess that's all. That's how far I can reach. That's just it. Oh, nope. That's everybody. Okay, looks like that's everybody. Is that everybody? Yep, it seems like that's everybody. Well, if that's everybody for the live chat room shout out, so I want to just give a shout out to everybody who's listening in on this. Once again, if you're listening in on the live feed, but of course not wish to say anything, well, thank you for watching. And of course, shout outs to the people who are listening on the archives. Thank you for listening in as well. And hopefully you enjoyed tonight's broadcast. And hey, what's going on to Bonkus Knees and Masclonius and plays, and that's everybody else. So with that said, I am pretty much done here. I need to get going. Need to get some food. Needs to really get energized because, man, I had a very, very long day today. I had to work all day long, and man, I had to travel back and forth. Rough day to me, and it's very hot outside. So yeah, very tough time I had today. But luckily, ran through the day like any other, but you know, just gotta get through the day and make some money at the end. So really did that, and I'm glad I oh man, yeah, glad I did. I'm actually gonna take a good cold shower after I'm really done talking and had a good nap because, man, oh man, cold showers actually work wonders. By the way, guys, if it's a hot summer, do take some cold showers because, of course, what it does to you in your body is really is what it does to your bones. Really, just kind of like, you know, you're really taking like maybe a spa bath or some sort. It's like if you're just feeling so good that, you know, you can feel yourself somewhat regenerate yourself. You can feel some freshness into it. It's something like you're getting a big relief. You know, it's pretty much, you know, kind of, you know, straightens up your muscles just a bit. You know, make it even more movable to say, and it's just very good. So I recommend everybody to actually take cold showers during the hot summer days, especially if it's 100, man. You'll feel the difference. It's just a good feel, and you pretty much will feel 100% back up the next day. Very good. Oh yeah, it's a Quantum. Hey, if anybody got Quantum when it was below $12 yesterday, hoo-wee. You would have made some good profit today. Yes, you would have done, man. What was Quantum again? Because I need to double check Quantum, because right now Quantum is actually up. Yeah, it was below $12, like around $11.83, I believe I bought when I bought it. Now it's like $12.38. Still not very bad right now. I mean, this is still a good buy, especially if it's $12, man. Go get yourself some Quantum, especially at this price. Don't be an idiot. Buy some, get some. How you can ever get some? Just pretty much go to the CoinMarketCap. There's also, they put a list out on whatever exchange you got. My preference will always be Binance, but of course nobody can get a Binance. I don't know how everybody can get it. I was just trading some Ethereum for some Quantum, and you know, you'll get some, put that in Quantum, and it'll go into the wallet, and then have it stake, get some rewards at the end. Hey, $11.50? Wow, that's actually pretty cheap right there, Frankie Manky. Well, go get some Quantum, man. Go get everybody buy Quantum at this hour now. It's Quantum hour. Buy them while they're still hot. Well, before they even go up. So get them while they can, because it's gonna be a very, 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 very long time. But of course, it's been, I think been a long time to get up. But of course, you gotta be patient about it when you get into these holdings, man. Yes. Well, looks like I'm gonna have to do some stuff now. I think that's about it. I think, let's see here. I'm looking in here into what's going on. Well, looks like right now what's going on is the Trump and Kim Jong-un's meeting at the summit, and actually they had the historic handshake that everybody's now talking about. Actually, I really want to see that. Probably not live, or maybe when it gets the full videos. I really want to see the whole entire thing, because it's very historic. And yet again, if these things go through, then we'll just see some very, very interesting results, and hopefully it's good results, because of course that would be good for Trump, and of course, you know, salty for the liberals. Yardy, yardy, yarg. Yep, looks like that's about it. I got nothing much to say, so, yeah, it's already 9:37, so I gotta get going now. So anyways, folks, that's it for this broadcast, and thank you for listening in once again. I am gonna go off and gonna enjoy people listening into the TCR Discord chat for a while, and not only that, I'm gonna get some food and take a good cold shower. Do so, because I'm very tired at this point. So, once again, guys, it's buy Quantum. How you can acquire it, just pretty much, like I say, just go to CoinMarketCap, listings for Quantum, go to the market one, and should have the good ones. It's choose the ones that actually is a good wallet. I don't know which one is actually pretty good. If you know a good exchange, I would recommend, what is a good recommendation? Because it's so hard. Other than Binance, like maybe EXX, I could say, but like I say, you gotta do your own thing and try to figure things out, but make sure he's not pissing blood and then the court doesn't charge you more for sending it to the Quantum. But anyways, folks, I'm out of here for tonight. Thank you all for watching. Thank you for listening in, and I'll see you guys back here for this Wednesday broadcast of the True Capitalist Radio. This Wednesday, I'm not gonna do a gameplay stream because I gotta do some other stuff for Wednesday in the night on the other chats or in the other streams. So of course, it is that time for that time. But seriously, no games play for Wednesday, but I'll be back for Friday for the gameplay stream. So you guys gotta have a good day, and I'll see you guys this Wednesday, or if you're listening in our archives, I'll see you on our next TCR broadcast right here on the Capitalist King Network. This is BN King signing off for tonight, so I'll see you guys then. Until then, I am out of here, so good night to all, and see you guys on the next stream. Later, y'all. Y'all have a good day.